Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
All the best countdowns end at 3.
All the best countdowns do end at 3. That's pro. The last two are mental.
What downs?
All the best countdowns.
I thought you said the C
He
word.
did say it.
Cut downs?
A little bit. It was kind of mumbled, but
So this
sounded
week,
naughty.
Gus
Gavin.
Michael?
Burnie.
and Gus, as always.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back to
Both
you
of
too.
you.
We were out of town. We're back though.
We were not out of town for the last podcast, though, were we?
No, we were here.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
Okay.
We're just guys. Like,
We
it
missed
was
the
a
patch.
segue to talk about us
You
being
missed
out.
your year of yearly anniversary of the patch.
Oh,
Is it-
well.
Can I call it the first anniversary? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can, because
Okay.
that technically is correct. That is the first anniversary.
So
the
what?
first
When is it
annual.
incorrect? First annual.
First annual.
Right.
Because there is no first annual. First annual would be if we had it at the first episode of the patch. We're like, hey, first annual patch. Makes no sense.
Well, it does. Hey, but we plan to have a patch every year. Yeah, it makes sense.
No. It's your inaugural patch.
So
Let me ask you
How many
this.
times have we rehashed
Do
this
it.
discussion?
In
and
hindsight
how
now-
are you still wrong?
repatched it.
Listen,
Oof.
I'm just getting clarification
Do
here.
it.
I'm not arguing with you. If we look back in time at the first RTX that we had in the dirt patch next to the office,
The inaugural RTX?
yes, now that we've had more than one on an annual basis, can you now refer to that one as the first annual?
That's an interesting question. I would say no.
I can
You
tell.
can call it the first RTX.
Go figure. It's not just you being stubborn at this point. It's just, yeah. That's a good question. No, I'm still right.
I can tell by the way your face is resting tonight, like the way the face is hanging on the skull.
Yeah.
That you're in a fighty mood. You're in like a little. You're gonna start some arguments
What are you
tonight.
talking
Do you
about?
want to fight him? Do you want to fight him?
No, I'm just waiting. There's so much stuff. This podcast comes so preloaded with stuff because so much stuff has happened this week that I know there's going to be a couple different discussions that could become heated and or completely disgusting.
Heated.
Yeah.
I think that's like the signature of the RT podcast. Heated and or completely disgusting.
Yeah, Gavin was a wreck in Los Angeles.
What happened to you?
he was a wreck. Well, Gavin was not present for
Wait. When was I wreck in LA?
He's telling the story.
when you at lunch when you shit yourself.
Yeah, that would be when.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That would be the time.
I wasn't with you though.
I only shit myself in LA. When was I a wreck?
The week has been about you shitting your pants, and the first one was I shit my pants in L.A. Then I shit my pants on the plane back from L.A. So why would you question that now?
Yeah, I was because most of the pooing has been here.
Right, but it started
I
there.
forgot that it started in LA. Yeah, absolutely
Right.
did.
Like he literally couldn't come to something in LA, and I asked him, "Do you want to extend?" And he goes, "No, I can't. I'm no longer a human," or something like that. He was very concerned about. How did you get on a plane when you were? We should probably start at the beginning.
What happened? I don't know this story.
Probably
What the
start
fuck
at the
happened?
Poop.
So I don't know what it was. I think I had food poisoning. The only thing I can think of that I had that was weird was that Alan gave me an oyster.
He did. He
Did
did.
Alan have the
He
shit?
gave-
Did Alan order oysters anywhere? Or did he just have like an oyster in his pocket? It's like the way you tell it. The only thing that was weird is Alan gave me an oyster. We were walking down the street in 100-degree weather.
Did Alan get the shits?
It was the In-N-Out burger.
Did Alan get the shits?
No, I don't know.
Should we call him?
I didn't go up to Alan and say,
I wanna call
"Hey,
Alan
Alan,
and see
how
if
you
he-
doing?"
Finish
Calm
telling
down.
your story. What happened? Alan gave you an oyster.
He gave me
One
first of all,
oyster.
he gave him an oyster shooter, which is like a shot
Oh.
glass filled with blended oyster and
hot
tomato
sauce and
juice
stuff,
and hot
yeah.
sauce. Yeah.
So I slurped that down, and that was fine. It was kind of like, ugh. Then the next day at breakfast,
Took it like a champ, by the way.
I was at a restaurant having breakfast, and I was sat like this. Sat like this, like resting in the sun. I was like,
Did you
oh,
do
this is
anything
nice.
different?
What do you mean?
Like you were sitting, and you're like, I was sat like this, and you just moved around in the chair, and at the
No, I
end you're
leant-
still
I
sitting.
leant
Yeah,
further
he-
back,
Michael,
like-
his
Michael
butts
here
were
was like
forward a little.
this. I was sitting like this. There you go. Like
Basically,
that.
what I've done is I've repositioned it so my anus isn't under me; it's like in front of me.
Yeah, it's all about the angle of the
You
anus.
can't see it. I mean, it's,
Okay, audience who are listening, Gavin slightly moved his anus.
Gavin went from a puckered position to unpuckered.
All right, so I'm there. I finished all my food, just sat there.
What'd you
and
have?
then like pancakes and eggs and bacon and stuff.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
not relevant. It's about to be very relevant.
my anus. It wasn't like you. Sometimes you can gamble on a fart and you can bet the wrong way on it.
Right, your separator doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But what happened is that my anus just leaked water, like pooey water. And I was like, well, if it went like this.
This is while you're still at the table.
Yeah, I was. It just
How
it
does
just
it go?
sounded like a slushy wet, and I was like, that was a weird fart. I didn't even see that coming. And then I was like, huh. And I was like, oh God, have I like properly?
Oh.
So I was like, I'll be right back.
fart.
I was like, I'll be right back.
Did you tell anyone at the table anything, or did you
I
just
just
excuse
said,
yourself?
be right back.
Is everyone else
He was on a
underwater
date,
for a second?
pretty much, at that point.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna nip to the bog. And then
to the bog.
and I felt it like all runny.
But little did you know the
coming
bog
down
was
my-
already in your pants.
So I went to the bathroom.
your nips.
I went to the bathroom,
Oh, God.
which didn't lock,
Oh my god.
which is a nightmare. Pulled it down. Absolute catastrophe. Absolute danger zone down there. So,
Oh my god.
bundled up my underwear, got rid of that, threw it away. Spent about 20 minutes cleaning just the swampy goop.
Did you leave a trail from your table to the bathroom?
like
No.
a slug, like a shit trail.
No, so I finished
How
all that
long do you estimate that you were
Trace
gone
this
from the table?
about 25 minutes.
Oh, God.
Which is why when I came back, I knew I couldn't lie about what had happened. Because I thought it was obvious.
How many people were there?
Just Meg.
Okay.
So I came
So
back
you
to
had
the
to
table.
come clean.
Came back to the table and I was like,
By yourself for half an hour.
yeah, she was like just messing around the phone. I came back and sat down. I was like, I didn't even sit down. I just stood by the chair. I was like, I've shit myself. We've got to leave immediately. And she was like, okay, and got up. And then in the car on the way back to her place, she was like streaming with laughter, like crying. So changed my jeans. And I just felt really uneasy for a while, for the rest of the day. Got on a plane.
Let me ask you a question. While you were in the bathroom, did you at all look for windows to climb out of or anything?
No.
Like, did it
All
ever
I
cross
did
your
was
mind,
have
I
one
can
foot-
escape? I don't have to go back to the table.
Did you look
Like,
for a way to
start
hang
clean.
yourself and just end it all right there?
That I was thinking
Anything
about. I
sharp.
thought about pulling the back of the toilet off and just drowning myself in the system. So,
Because it'd be gross to do it in the toilet bowl
so yeah, I was holding the door shut. Someone tried to get in while I was doing that, so I was just like, I'm in here.
for 25 minutes.
Please don't.
Come
Please don't.
back tomorrow.
I'm throwing my underwear away. Give me a minute.
Then I got on a plane, and that was
Terrible decision.
uneasy.
Was it the same day?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So basically, went to the bog right before in the airport, got everything I could out. At this point,
God.
it's just water.
So
Like,
this is an ongoing problem that you had.
yeah, it's just wet. It's like wet water coming out of my bum.
Wet water.
Just bum wee. Got on the plane, and fell asleep.
Oh no, have you ever listened to the podcast before? Don't do that.
My bum relaxed in my sleep. I had a repeat scenario. I then had to repeat exactly what I'd done in the restaurant, except in a 1 foot by 1 foot plain bathroom, which wasn't easy.
So
I've now got no underwear on, and I'm in jeans. There's about 40 minutes of the flight left.
That
I'm
is
feeling,
no safety barrier.
I'm feeling even worse. I think the altitude is like boiling all my water.
does it get hotter?
So I was
Boiling
just sat there like this on a plane, and that was the longest 40 minutes of my life.
He's now
Just like,
holding his asshole together.
just like trying to clench it and not even think about like relaxing my anus for 40 minutes.
now,
So I made it.
no.
I made it.
When you shit yourself on the plane, were you sleeping? You shit yourself that woke you up,
Yeah.
or did you wake up and you would shit yourself? Like, how long were you sitting
Or
in
was
your
it the
shit?
smell that woke you
Wait,
up?
did other
Like
people
a
smell
baby.
it first? Right? Were you like sleeping in it for like?
Were you crying
an
and
extended
cranky?
period of time? or-
No, but there was a line for the toilet.
so
Oh,
you're
God.
sitting in your shit while you were waiting,
I
or
was
were
just
you
holding
standing?
it. I was just holding it.
You're lucky the line wasn't there before you went.
It was.
Oh, really?
What do you mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So I thought when you came out, you saw a line of people because you were there
I had to
another
wait in
25
line.
minutes.
So you
had to
woke
wait
up.
in line? Oh,
Were you
what a
standing or were you still
nightmare.
sitting?
I was stood.
So you
gonna
pulled
sit,
all
eh?
your crap up and
Yeah.
you're just like
How
covered
long-
in filth.
How long were you in the tiny bathroom in the plane?
About 20 minutes.
If you're in there too long, they'll knock on the thing and say, "Is there a problem?" Like
Yeah.
where you're in there making a
Shit, man.
bomb.
And I would have replied yes.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
I need some underwear. Stat.
I think that in that situation they'd want him in there.
Okay, so-
to
yeah.
contain that.
Yeah, I cleared all that up. I put like 10 layers of toilet paper in the bottom of my jeans. That was my new underwear.
That helps.
And then I survived. And then that night, I went to sleep, and I pooed the bed in the night.
Did you really?
The poo fairy visited you.
So is this like permanent? Are you done with this?
You leave $1, then they leave a turd. It's like the reverse tooth fairy.
That's the worst fairy of all
So
kind.
did your sheets take a beating?
Yep, changed those.
Burned them.
And then, yeah, basically in the span of 24 hours, I shit myself about 5 times.
So you're down 2 pair of underwear and a set of sheets at this point.
I was down 2 underwear, set of sheets. I kept the sheets. I just washed them. I didn't think it's worth throwing away
Those
my
pants are right on the verge too, because they survived 2
The
shattings.
jeans, yeah. Did you throw them away or did you keep them?
The jeans I've got.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna throw away. I
Were
mean,
they really tight jeans? Like, were you in danger of like a pressurized squirt coming
It's
out?
all right,
Shoots
but
out your
for some reason that just seems like too much to me.
It's in the back of the head.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've started to solidify. Yesterday?
Have you taken anything?
No. Like what?
like Pepto or
Are you gonna
Imodium?
make fun of
Something
him
to
for not
make you
taking anything?
stop.
For something like this, if you're shitting yourself,
Gus, you had a stomach ache for a year and a half straight. A year and a half straight. you had a
Imodium
stomach
doesn't
ache.
fix that.
And I had to like practically make the appointment for you to go to the doctor myself.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
you
but that's
found out-
like prescription stuff.
you found out it was like an easy fix.
Instead of over the counter. Over the counter, shit, take something. I've got some Imodium in my
That's
bag right
different,
now.
Bernie.
That's different. That's me.
Shut up.
That's me. I had to leave every
It's
meal
an interesting
early.
question. In retrospect, I'd
Yeah.
say no.
No, and I was still right after analysis.
Your smile gets bigger as your eyeballs go further up
Yes.
into the air.
I've been pretty dehydrated recently.
I told you to drink more.
I did, yeah.
Because you're
Well, I
That's why
mean,
he's got a beer right there.
Been afraid.
I'm just pulling all the water away.
it's not gonna help.
But
and a Red
yesterday-
Bull, Red Bull and a
And a
beer,
Red Bull.
Red Bull and a beer. That'll hydrate you
Yesterday
nicely.
I had my first fart in 5 days.
Congratulations.
And it was amazing. To have an anus filled with air instead of water is an
You've had
unbelievable
your
feeling.
first
Wet water.
gas fart instead
be
of your first
specific.
liquid fart.
Yeah, and it was good. And now I'm all back to normal, I think.
I think.
Do you think you'll ever regain the confidence that you had before? Or
No.
is this
Before the tragedy.
I'm
Has this
damaged.
changed
It's
you?
like I've been at
We've already
war.
talked about it. Like, there's been a few incidences in Achievement Hunter, like here and there. Jeff's had a couple accidents. There's been some close calls. Gavin has always like gone on about how he's never shit himself, and in the span of like 24 hours, he's become the king.
Yeah.
I just
I
wanna
went
point out-
from 0 times
To
5.
like at most ever.
You had 3 more that you haven't told us about?
Well,
Oh, you had the bed,
I had
and
a
then 2
couple in
more after
bed.
that.
I had one in the shower.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, at least you're in the shower already,
That was
I guess.
fine. That was the easiest one.
And then another one in the bed again.
Yeah.
You're a nightmare. You're a nightmare. I just want to point out to the audience that outside of the Achievement Hunter office, we're batting like 1,000. Nobody else has shit their pants, as far as I know.
Well, at least no one else outside of that office brags about it.
yeah,
It's not like public
Competition.
knowledge.
It's
Worst to
competition.
first.
Either way, what I did was nothing compared to what you did.
What?
You just spunk your pants on a plane.
Oh, you're gonna bring that up again?
Because that's weird and sexual.
I didn't tell you the best part of that story. I left out the kicker at the end.
What was it?
When I woke up, I was holding Jeff's hand.
No.
No. Everyone I just got greeted with silence on that.
You should come back to my face. I was totally willing to accept it. I
So
was
what's
like,
worse,
oh.
having an illness and pooing yourself on a plane, or spunking yourself on a plane?
They're all really,
Definitely
really horrible.
shitting yourself
They're all
because the
horrible.
person next to you doesn't know that like you just jizzed your pants. If you shit yourself on a plane, people are gonna know. It's
I had
definitely
the
worse.
feeling that everybody knew. It was like
Do we tell too much personal stuff on this podcast?
Isn't that the
That's
point?
pretty personal.
I'm
right?
totally-
I probably shouldn't have admitted that.
I'm drawing you into this because of I had to tell that story. I think it took me a year to tell that story.
Yeah, it took me 5 days to tell mine.
That led me to one of your thoughts, like one of your hypothetical scenarios you like to come up with. If I gave you today $2 million, $2 million cash, you walk out of here today with $2 million. But for the next 20 years, anytime you have to take a poo, you have to hold both their hands and make eye contact with them.
The whole time?
The entire time. Otherwise, you can't go to the bathroom. You have to find someone if you're in public that will hold both your hands and make eye contact with you while you go poo.
Oh, so it's a different person every time?
It's just anybody. You can't. It's just you have to hold their hands and make eye
if
contact
I'm
with the person.
How much am I getting?
What's that?
2 million.
2 million.
All right, so
20 years.
I put out an ad and I say I'll pay you $100,000 a year to hold my hand while I poo. All
there
year.
goes all your money.
$100,000 out of 2 million.
10 years. That's $1
20.
million.
It said 20 years.
Oh, how much?
10 years. You pay like $1 million.
Gavin just did it for the experience.
20 years.
I've just been
amount of
looking for
money,
someone to hold
back
hands.
to work. Fucking $100,000 a year. I'll do it. Sign me up. I'll hold your hand.
It's amazing you came to the exact number. You didn't even think about it.
$100,000 a year to hold your hands and look at you while you poop. Fuck.
I bet
Where's
you
that
can,
line start?
you can find a dude to do it much cheaper than that, I bet.
Would you do that for someone?
No.
You would
$100,000 a year. Fucking Gavin starts high.
for $100,000 a year, you wouldn't do that. All you have to do is hold someone's hand for 20 minutes a day.
And stare at them while they shit.
I don't give a fuck, dude.
You think
I'm
they're the
not
good
the one
times and the bad? When they drink an oyster shooter and it gives them wet diarrhea for 5 days, you gotta be there.
There's
when
a
they're
lot
backed
to it.
up and they need to eat more fiber, you
There's a
gotta
lot-
be there.
There's a lot to it. Think of that's your job. You have to do that with somebody. Think of like all the like involuntary squeezes of the hand. It's just too much.
I like the clamminess.
You're asleep in the middle of the night, like, hey man, I got a real emergency. You gotta come over right now. You're like, fuck. All right, I'll be right there.
That guy would have had to travel with you on the plane into that breakfast. Because he just would have had a feeling that you were gonna poo.
I like the idea of like when someone's ill on a plane, it's like, is anyone a doctor? But for us, it'd be like, is anyone a poo watcher?
You know what I've heard? I've heard that when they say that a lot of doctors don't say anything.
Liability?
Yeah, liability. They just don't say anything.
I like the idea of someone just choking to death and some guys renew.
Someone told me that.
Don't they have the Hippocratic Oath? Aren't they obligated to
I don't
try
think the
to-
Hippocratic Oath covers that they have to do something.
There are a lot of jobs where there's too much pressure on. Like a pilot is responsible and can get arrested and jailed for his job if he does it wrong. Scary.
A lot of people could do that.
Well, what can I do at my job that will get me arrested?
Well, tell that story again, probably. I'm trying to think. There's been
penis out.
comedians. Not recently. Lenny Bruce was arrested for obscenity.
Who?
Lenny Bruce, stand-up comedian. He's one of those comedians that all other comedians love. You know, like
Comedian.
Yeah, comedian. Like Colin Quinn or Andy Kaufman. You know, yeah. Lenny Bruce is one that everybody talks about. And he was a guy, earlier part of last century that was like arrested for obscenity and stuff. I think he was around the 1950s.
Yeah, 50s and 60s.
Yeah, was he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he got arrested for just blue material. You know, Luke, what's his name? The Two Live Crew guys got arrested a couple different times.
Oh, right.
For performing shows. I
God
mean,
bless.
they're obviously trendsetters and have blazed the trail for guys like you to come along and shit your pants over the public airwaves.
How do people do it before the internet? We're
I
going to talk
have
about
no idea.
shitting themselves in over the broadcast television.
Thank God for net neutrality.
Thank God for the internet.
But that was the reason why you could not attend you guys did a live stream with Rockstar for Grand Theft Auto.
It wasn't worth me. I would have just been sat there squeezing my bum cheeks close.
Yeah, you were still shitting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was texting you at the time because I was still in LA.
Yeah.
And I was like saying, "Why aren't you on this thing?" And you were like, "Oh, I'm home or I'm laid up from pooping." And then I came to find out you were in your office the whole time.
Yeah. I'm not going to take a sick day for poo.
He was fucking miserable all day.
I've still never taken a sick day of any job in my life.
No, you're dumb.
That's why you take sick days. Because now somebody else in this
Right.
company's gonna get so fucking sick because you were here.
Yeah.
Well, because I've pooed. It's
Yeah.
food poisoning. You can't catch
the
that,
best
can
part
you?
about that too is, by the way, he's talking about getting sick and poo. So that's the day he's just like all morning like,
The most disturbing segue
and
of
we're
all time,
like,
by the way. Speaking
no,
of getting
it's
sick
great.
and poo.
No, it's great. So I'm like, what the fuck's with you? And Jeff's just like, wait for the Let's Play. So I had to wait like 2 hours to hear the story until we got going. And he's like, oh shit myself. So he's going on and on about it. And it was either before, and I think it was in the middle of the video right afterwards. He was just like, uh-oh. And then he checks his pants to make sure he thought he shit himself.
What does that mean? You checked his
he
pants.
put his pants down. He put his hand down his pants and he like rubbed his pants to see if he shit himself.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to know.
Right. So he does this.
I can wash my hand.
He could wash his hand. He does that and he's like, I'm clear. And then immediately rubs his eye. And I'm like, oh no! I'm like, you just like wiped your asshole and rubbed your eye. It's like, no, but it wasn't wet. I'm
Also-
like, your hand was still in your ass.
Also, I
And
didn't
Ryan
touch my
starts freaking
asshole.
out.
I have to,
A2E.
like, tease my anus.
Your hand was in your pants inside your boxers. It's close enough to
It wasn't
directly
inside my boxes.
pull out and then
it
in
wasn't
your
inside
eye.
my boxes. It was on my
You've
jeans.
already described for the
Your
last
jeans
week.
are covered in shit. by
They
your own
weren't.
account,
I was
okay?
seeing if they were.
You're covered in feces.
I took my hand to the bottom of my jeans.
You're contaminated.
You put them inside your jeans.
No, in my jeans.
Yeah,
and then,
inside
like,
your jeans.
touch
He
the
always says
bottom of the-
no to me and then says what I said. Yes, inside your jeans, and then what'd you do?
I just touched the bottom of them to see if they were wet.
Inside.
You
Yeah,
touched
like-
your jeans,
Which you've
you
already
didn't touch your
established
boxers.
that this
No, I didn't touch the
environment is a
boxers.
mess with no containment facilities at all. It's just like you were expecting to find poop. Is what
I was just making sure.
just making sure. Guys, let me ask you a question. You poop your pants. Do you know it? How many steps of verification do you need?
I'm pretty sure I would know it. I'm pretty sure I would know
I
if
would
I shit my
love to
pants.
give you what
Like,
I had and see if
Is
you
there
would
another
know.
step of the process, or is that it? Then you're done. Like, do you need like third-party verification?
The weird
Like,
thing is-
what's
Is
this?
this shit? Is this shit? Does somebody taste this?
The weirdest thing about it is that it was only liquid. It was never any pieces of poo. It was just bum liquid. But it was body temperature. So I didn't know.
How is that weird?
Well, because you can't tell whether it's come out or
It
not.
wasn't cold like normal.
No, I mean, if your pants are wet from the cold water, you know that there's water in them.
We've officially.
No one has referred to shit more as water than Gavin tonight. Everything comes out of him as water this and water that.
In
it's
the
all
history-
shit. It's all crap.
It
Coming out
is,
of
and
you.
there was none.
In the history of the podcast, I've never heard the controller yell at us to shut up as an official direction. We've officially been told to shut up now.
All right. Well,
can't handle
why don't we just take a blade to that part of the timeline and we'll start a podcast now.
Just scoop that
Hey
out.
everyone, welcome,
Welcome to the Rooster Teeth
podcast.
Podcast. Who have we got this week?
Oh my
no, there's
God.
no way we're cutting that out. So, thanks. That's fucking awesome. We're all glad to hear. We're all rooting for you and hoping you have a speedy recovery.
Should make
Thanks.
the link dump interesting, that's for sure. Yo.
It really will be a link dump.
Literally this time. Hey, why should I not update my Mac? What's the problem with
There's
it?
a fucking bug.
There's a bug that deletes your user folder?
It doesn't delete your user folder. It hides it so you can't see it.
What the fuck does that mean?
There's like it's not there.
That means it's deleted.
You can still get to it in terminal, but it's like
When do you
Does
ever
it
need
hide
to
all my
get in your
documents?
user
no,
folder?
you can still see you can see your desktop, you can see your documents. You just can't. If you open up Macintosh HD, you just can't see the users folder.
So if you go into documents and then go one up,
That would be your user folder.
what are you talking about?
Users. There's a folder called users that all of the user directories are
When
in.
do you ever need to get in there?
If you just, like I just said, if you open up Macintosh HD, it's not there. You ever open up Macintosh? You ever see the Macintosh HD icon and go, I'm going to double click on that. You ever double click that?
No, why would I do that?
Fuck it, never mind. I don't know. This computer's different. You and
It's
I
an
have it.
award-winning podcast. So we've won several awards for this podcast.
There's one right there.
What the hell is happening?
Oh, I meant to point out the other week that the person who made the Simmons Master Chief, it's behind me, updated it and made a new version. It actually fell over. I'm going to stick it back up.
I'm looking the wrong way on this.
It's over here. I'll grab it. I'll show you.
Oh, I can't wait.
Talk about something else, man.
Gus is unhooking himself.
You guys want to talk at all about the GTA live stream? How'd that go?
I played
don't
some
know.
games.
Yeah.
Wasn't on it.
It was what'd you guys end up playing on that?
A bunch of crap.
Bunch of crap.
Yeah, we played
The,
some
the mini games you guys played,
some
were they their
driving.
mini games or mini games you guys came up with?
We came up with one of them that we played. Some were theirs. One of them was Things to Do we just did. I think it either comes out. I think it comes out this week. The Juggernaut. It's a pretty good
Oh, it was
one.
fun. Yeah.
Just went a lot better when we did it.
A little bit of a preview. Oh yeah, I mean somebody just stepped in and tried to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always thing about those mini games is that when you first playing with other people, even the developers, you're like, ha. Yeah, it's like you're the best in the world at it because you're the ones that ever played it before. We went and played.
Yeah, they actually beat the shit out of us.
We went and played Bungie at a Hump Day Challenge when they were developers of Halo. And we played Griffball against them. We fucking destroyed them. It was like the best thing ever.
Especially since they had previously destroyed us in other, like in out-of-the-box games.
And remember their description of that one? It was like the first game, it was like trouncing. And the last game, they described it as sadly quiet. Like everyone in the room just got quiet because we were losing so fucking badly.
It's like you're going to die. It's inevitable. You're just like, I'm just going to try to get this over as quickly as possible. I'm going to help them kill me.
Remember that versus between Ray and Ryan that went on for like 9 minutes and Ray just beat the shit out of him? It was Fusion Frenzy 1
it
or
was
2
just
or
sad. Yeah,
something.
everyone was
It
just
was
like, oh.
sad. It was like they set up the rules. This is like the first 5 or 6 versus episodes. They set up the rules and it was like a series of mini games and it's like, okay, this is what we'll do. And it was Ray and Ryan and 2 bots. And it was like 9 mini games, and by like the 3rd or 4th one, Ray had fucking won every single. Like Ray got first, and then the computers were 2nd and 3rd, and Ryan was like 9 million points behind him.
Fuck.
And it was just half of the episode was us just insulting Ryan, just waiting for it to end.
Brutal.
It was fucking brutal. Great episode. Go watch it.
I had that. I suspect the first time we sat down to play Mario Kart together, I was playing with the Tilt controller, the Tilt Wii controller, Mario Kart 8, and Ashley had the gamepad. And she fucking destroyed me the first 2 races, like absolutely killed me. And I have a feeling she threw the last 2 races. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I have a feeling
That's
she did.
sad.
Yeah, that's sad. That's
Yeah.
a sad moment in any relationship when it's like, don't throw this. She's like,
It's
oh.
like that's like faking an orgasm.
Yeah, it is,
It's,
right?
it's worse.
Is it worse?
It's
More
worse.
insulting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I have a sneaking suspicion. I'll have
Have
to
you ever
confirm it
faked
with
it?
her. What's that? Yeah. Haven't you? In my life, yes.
Why?
Just to get out of like being. It's good. I'm a good actor.
What did you do is like very quietly spit. He's like, oh, there we go.
How do you lie about that?
You must be a great actor.
But if you're sleeping with someone you don't really know all that well, you have a condom on anyway. So you're not worried about like. I like to turn the back. I'll be like Gavin have you ever seen when Gavin goes around with the hand sanitizer and he shoots it at people? It's so fucking disturbing. And then he has his iPhone like set at like spout level, so all you see is this spray and
Oh
people
yeah, I made an RT Life. I forgot about it.
freaking out
I was trying
about
to convince him he should buy a dildo that squirts.
Am I alone? By the way, am I alone in that? You've never faked an orgasm in your life?
I never have.
Really? Ever?
My hand can always
Never.
tell.
What's that?
I can never pull it.
All right, well, I guess I'm
Guys.
alone in that.
Imagine doing it to yourself.
Yeah, like, oh, that was great. It wasn't.
You look in the mirror and cry.
Gavin's
can't
blown
get
away
over
here.
this.
Gavin has a look of shock
Really?
on his face. Look at him.
someone you don't know very well.
It's like
So
he
it's
doesn't even
like-
know who you are anymore.
So imagine it was one of the first few times with this person,
Yeah.
and then you just decided you didn't.
It's
wanna
more than one
finish.
person, probably. I mean, it doesn't seem like that foreign a concept to me.
What's interesting to me is that probably like at first I was on board, like, okay, maybe I could see him having done it. That means you've done it multiple times.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you guys don't ever have like delay tactics of like extending stuff, and after a while you're like, oh, I fucking delayed too much. Now it's just gonna be like, now it's gonna be a long fucking time. We're gonna have to.
That I know what you're talking about. And sometimes it's just like, listen, the window's passed. What are you gonna do? I've never thought to be like,
Oh,
see you later.
well, I mean, basically that's the same thing. I mean, I would say you end it without a discussion.
It's
Basically,
not the same thing, though. I'm just like, there's no like pretending something happened. It's just like, listen, it's just
yeah. If I don't know the person as well, I would have not had the
Nah.
conversation.
just not
See,
gonna
if
happen.
I was acting and trying to fake it, I think I'd go over the top with it. I wouldn't be able to just match the same level of.
Let's go ahead, please fill us in.
Do it.
But
I'm
let's
just trying to
let's
imagine
just
what
make
you
the body fluid circuit for this
I
podcast.
just can't
Let's do
imagine
it.
what you would have done at the moment where because in your head you're thinking, this is going nowhere. I've got to stop this.
Yeah.
And then you were like, well, shall I just? Yeah, I'll just fake. I'll fake the climax. Here we go. Like, what would you do? Like, how would you
Like he
even
was
do
there.
that?
What's that? I mean, it's fake. It's just like anything else. You just fake it.
How'd you do it?
Nah, good try. Good try. It's pretty much like what you did, but a little bit better.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm never getting to any ad reads this whole podcast.
Do it.
We're so far beyond.
Why you want to
any
get
of
away
that.
from like a horrible discussion before
No,
you?
horrible discussions are great.
Did you
Stick
see
with it.
that?
No, I mean before you do an ad read.
No,
you, want,
fuck it.
you want a
They,
5
they,
sentence
they knew what
buffer?
they knew what they were getting into.
Did you see that demonstration the guy did with the 3 Kinects and the Oculus Rift?
No,
No, but
It
it,
was-
sounds awful.
no,
it
it
was
sounds
actually
Just
awesome.
waiting for poop or semen.
It was
to
actually
come
pretty
in.
cool.
know,
He was just in this
You got
virtual.
3 angles at once. It's coming at him.
What was
He was in this virtual room. It was like a virtual office, and there's 3 Kinects filming every side of him, and it projects all the stuff around him. And he said it was so realistic that he would sit down on a chair, and there'd be a fake 3D table, and he could stick his legs out and like spin around on the chair, and his legs would warp through the leg of the table because the table doesn't exist.
Right.
But he said it was so realistic to his brain that whenever he would spin, he would tuck his legs in, so he didn't like his brain would just do that on its own. Oh, this is it.
So they're showing us a video screen of this.
Yeah.
A clip of it. It's
he
just
looks
like a
like-
basic polygon.
He looks like
kitchen, it
turd
looks
because
like.
the Kinects are just getting that information and they're quite far away, so it's not really very high resolution.
I'm not really sure I know what I'm seeing here. It just looks like a
It's just-
virtual
it's just-
reality.
yeah, it is, but it's cool. He like pulls himself out of his body in a second. And it's pretty cool
So how is this different from just like a normal Oculus thing?
Yeah. How did the
because
Kinect add anything?
you are in there with it. Like all of his body is in there and his legs are in
I
there.
guess
and stuff.
just so you can see his arms and his legs. That's the thing.
yeah, like he is in there
Okay.
with his body,
Okay.
and it makes him like
With the
More with the
shitty low
ceramics.
resolution body.
yeah, it looks like turd.
It
but
sounded
it's-
much better when you were talking about it before
not
before
gonna
I
lie,
saw
guys.
it.
yeah.
It was not nearly cool. Blaine, are you gonna slurp that fucking drink all goddamn night?
You know what? I already looked at him and he pretended like he didn't know. Right as we started, he's got a slushy. Shut the fuck up, Blaine. He's got a slushy and it like was stiff, so he was like shaking it. And right as we started, it was like, and I went, hey.
Blaine's off camera over here. I thought he was having an asthma attack. At
No,
one point.
here he threw it away like a pussy.
He was trying to get every ounce out of that.
Oh my
goddamn
god! I mean,
stuff.
I guess you really gotta. He's a recent college graduate. Now he's got to really pinch every penny. Man, not gonna let any of that fucking melting ice go to waste.
Speaking of which, okay, can we talk about that for a second? Okay, so we did this. Somebody explained that was here for it because Gus and I were both traveling, so we weren't here for it.
Gavin,
What
go.
was the thing this weekend that was done? Michael, you were here. Gavin, you were here.
oh,
The
the
stream
Operation Supply Drop.
There we go.
24-hour live stream.
Charity stream.
to benefit guys. Operation Supply Drop. They provide video games to either soldiers that are in a combat arena or in active service, or are recovering from wounds that they got on the battlefield, which is a really great service to go out and give those guys something to do.
Yes. So we had a 24-hour live
So we had a
stream.
24-hour live stream to benefit that, and it did really well. Raised $250,000 to do it. And then a weird thing that had like happened in the middle of it is that I guess our community started tweeting at celebrities saying, "Hey, can you retweet this?" And a whole list of celebrities online on Twitter were commenting and posting about this RT salute. And one of them was Blaine graduated that day. His commencement ceremony was that day, and so he had posted a photo on Twitter of him flexing with his cap and gown on. or half his gown on, and he tweeted at The Rock, and then The Rock retweeted it basically and replied to him publicly, which I understand that when that happened, Blaine, you like ran around the entire office.
He was slurping out of 2 cups at once.
That was awesome. Like all that was like Simon Pegg and a bunch of really cool people tweeted. It's really awesome.
Oswald.
Will
Pat
Sasso.
Oswald. Even Tim Schafer today was very late to the
Nathan
party.
Fillion.
Dan Grucci, just a fucking idiot. He said, "Hey, go see the live stream."
It was
like 13 hours after it ended.
So over. Yeah, Dan was like, "You guys have no idea." Dan, being enlisted himself, he's like, "This is a great cause. You have no idea how amazing this is. Go check it out." And I was like, "Fucking idiot!" It was like a whole day later.
It was like yesterday at 9 p.m.
He wasn't doing it as a joke.
No, he's like, and then even we followed up with, "Oh crap." I don't know how to read. Here's Blaine's tweet of him flexing in front of the UT Tower. Oh, that's The Rock retweeting Blaine.
You're a huge inspiration.
Caps and biceps. Congrats.
Is The Rock really a huge inspiration?
So, Kara, see if you can pull up Brandon's tweet. It would be a reply to that one. Or it wouldn't be a reply. He just like did a tweet about it. This is something that bugs the shit out of me when people do this.
Here we
And I'm
go.
so fucking glad.
Here's the vinegar.
I'm so glad that I can talk about it. It's probably not a reply to that one. Just go to Brandon's stupid fucking Twitter feed.
Yeah, look at it's
Mr. Farmahini.
He's at twitter.com/stupidfuckingbrandon Twitter account.
Fuckface.
Brandon's thing that I fucking hate, which is he tweeted that Blaine got retweeted by The Rock, and he goes, "I can't believe The Rock retweeted Rooster Teeth. My 11-year-old self would be so excited by that." And that's like, I
Such
see
an
people
insult.
do that all the fucking time. It's such a fucking insult.
That's such
Yeah.
a backhanded, like. No,
Yeah.
yes, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
Get
Go
on the
talk,
seat.
dumbass.
Dude,
It's like, man, if
15 years ago, I so would have cared about
It's
that.
exactly what it is.
You're not cool enough for me to care now, but when I was a little stupid kid, man, I would have loved that.
When you were
Everybody
relevant, that would
hates
be awesome.
kids.
Yeah, when you were relevant, basically. I mean, The Rock is like one of the biggest stars in the
Yeah.
world.
He never wasn't relevant.
And I was
mean,
even
before people knew who he was,
I
he
was
wasn't
talking to
relevant.
Brandon about it a little bit today, and Brandon had the dumbest excuse for why he did that too.
Let's hear it.
Let's
You
go to
Brandon,
it now.
Can we go to
I
him?
think he's still getting set up.
No,
You
he's,
just stand in front of the thing and talk.
that's right. He's still getting set up in front of our microphone and green screen.
Didn't he set it up?
No, he doesn't. He actually doesn't set that stuff up anymore.
But I read that kind of stuff. I'm really glad it happened because I read that stuff kind of all the time. Like there's some people I know and they're like, "Oh, my 15-year-old self would have been so cool to see this." Like, God damn it, you know what I mean? It's like it just bugs the shit out of me. Like people we know who were really successful like
All
in the
right,
90s.
we're ready
and stuff
with
like that.
Brando.
Yeah.
Brando.
What's your excuse for this, Brandon?
Oh,
It's an
we
elephant.
got no Brandon.
Brandon's not there.
There he is.
Some
Brandon,
fucking
you're with
elephants.
some elephants.
Brandon, you look like James Franco. Anyone
Really?
tell you that?
Do something weird.
All right, come on, tell your story. Why the hell?
All right, no, okay. I get it. But I was super butthurt and pissed off that The Rock tweeted at Blaine. I don't even think The Rock or Blaine's that big of a fan. So I sat there and I was like, maybe if I appeal to The Rock's emotions, and he's like, hey,
Like
there's
anger?
this other guy who's a huge fan, been a fan for a really long time, maybe he would retweet me, but he did not.
So you said the whole my 11-year-old self would have been excited by a tweet by The Rock just to point out the fact that you've been a fan since you were 11.
Yeah, I guess I should have said, and now.
Nope,
but,
you didn't.
And then at the end, just say, and
I was just
now.
like concentrating. I was like, I don't only have a limited amount of time. What am I going to do? He's going to see this. I got to get something here. I thought I had to get something out, and it didn't work.
As opposed to I gave a shit about you 15 years ago.
That's not what it said.
That's exactly what it
projecting.
said.
That's exactly
You're
what it said.
projecting.
No.
No.
Yes.
You said my 11. Do you have the tweet? Show the tweet. Where is it?
Let's
They'll
go
pull it
to
up in a
exhibit
second.
A.
Unbelievably jealous that at The Rock retweeted at B Gibbles. My 11-year-old self just died. So
Yeah,
basically,
but I look at the first part. I'm unbelievably jealous. Not my 11-year-old self would be unbelievably jealous.
that's exactly
It's
what that
completely different.
says.
Yeah.
That's exactly. I'm telling you, I see this kind of people post this kind of stuff all the time, and it's so insulting.
You either
I read
said
it on
that-
behalf of other people. I'm like, oh my god.
You either said that or you just accused The Rock of murdering 11-year-olds.
Also, a sentence that follows another sentence doesn't cancel out the first sentence.
No, it
said-
adds
you
on.
said
It
both
says I'm
sentences.
jealous, and my
Also-
young portion, my like inner child would be so happy.
That's now
And that
say-
inner child is still a part of you. If you're happy, your inner child's happy, you be happy.
Okay, Freud.
Look.
Jesus.
Lessons with Brandon.
I get it. I do feel bad, but my heart was in the right place.
Yeah, you fucked it up, dude. Did
Yeah,
The
I
Rock
did.
retweet
He
you?
did not retweet me.
He didn't. Yeah, he,
He
didn't.
probably saw it, right? And was like,
Oh, his
"Fucker."
publicist probably did.
You probably made him. Jesus. You probably made him cry.
a little
Think
bit.
about that.
Don't say that.
Yeah, you
Probably
probably
happened.
hurt The Rock's feelings.
Dude, his fucking 12-year-old self just died now.
I just want to point out that he likes Blaine better than you.
Yeah, he does.
Most of us agree.
That tweet proved it.
All right.
Love you, Brandon.
Get the hell out of there. Bye.
Why are there elephants behind you?
I don't know.
Go and touch one.
There's elephants behind you.
tickle their
Pet one of the
trunk.
elephants.
He's just walking away.
You give it up. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it's awful.
But I thought overall that was a lot of fun.
Seemed to go really well.
Yeah. I wish you could come down for it.
My
but,
back is fucking sore. At
What,
one
from
point,
jumping over your leg?
No, that was fine. The leg was fine. The jump in the ball, popcorn with the scooter was fine. Later on in the night, while John was playing, I guess Kyle in Titanfall, we decided to have a real life Titan fight during them playing Titanfall.
It's gonna fall.
So it fell. He pointed it out. So John was riding on my shoulders, and I was pretty sore in the morning for that.
He almost cronked his head on these lights multiple
really?
times.
But he didn't.
Didn't they?
Almost.
No one's gonna be able to see those.
He was safe. I had him. I had his legs nestled safe in my arms.
At one point,
It's good.
he tipped over backwards, and
Yep.
to rectify that, he just palmed the top of your head.
Yeah, he's like grabbed my skull and yanked himself
like a little
forward,
kid.
But it was a good fight. I think we came out on top.
Here, I'm gonna read this thing. Then we'll talk a little more about
It's safe.
8-bit salute. I want to remind everyone this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is brought to you by driving around in LA this past week. I really learned to appreciate the audiobooks all over again.
Why?
Just like every single fucking meeting we had in LA was like, okay, great, I'm in Century City or whatever. I gotta be in Burbank in 40 minutes.
Guy, you sound like a Los Angelinian, however that's said.
And it's just like you're just in the car constantly. May as well be listening to an audiobook.
I seriously fucked up in a Game of Thrones thing.
Yeah?
So yeah, I really messed up. I met some friends and we went and saw Godzilla. Mm-hmm. And one of the guys was there with his wife, and she has not read the books, but he has. And so we were talking about stuff. He said, "Oh, I'm really looking forward. I'm not gonna spoil anything. Don't worry. I'm really looking forward to something that's gonna happen this season." And he goes, but they'll probably wait till next season for it. I said, "No, I think that event you're talking about is towards the end of this season, because it's the end of the third book, and this is the end of the third book season." And he said, "No, it's this." And I said, "Well, I've read all the books. You're not going to spoil anything for me." I actually had read all the books. I'm like halfway through the last one, and he immediately dropped a huge spoiler on me that I didn't know about. I was like, "Oh, I completely fucked that up." And then his wife went after him, going, "I haven't read the books because you heard us talking about it." But he like went way ahead. He went way ahead.
so you know the end.
I mean, when you say
Not
I've
the
read
end.
them all, that's what happens.
I did. Well, we were talking about the end of the third book, so I was like, "You're not going to read me." I've said I've read the books, and I have, but I hadn't read them.
That
very
is a
end.
dangerous game to be playing.
Damn.
Yeah,
Mr.
I'm
West.
actually gonna. After
Dude.
having said that, I then went home and finished up all the books. So if anybody wants to spoil anything for me, it's a waste of time.
Did it unspoil it when you read the book?
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
No.
I'm just waiting for it to happen.
I just haven't watched this week's yet, and literally the second Jeff starts talking about it, I run out of the office.
Yeah.
Because it's the combination of he's seen it, and then he's got the I've read the books elitism that always
Yeah,
comes up
it
of
sucks.
like, well,
It's the worst.
in the book, here's how it
That's what we
happened.
talk about. We talk about the smug
Yeah,
pricks.
and I'm just
Did you see
like-
the spoiler cast we did for Game of Thrones?
No,
We had
I
a whole,
wasn't watching it yet.
We had a whole corner over there for the smug pricks who've read the books. We put it in
Yeah.
the library. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I'm not watching the books, okay? I don't fucking care.
Get 'em on
I don't give a
audible.com.
fuck how the book
Yeah.
works. I don't give a fuck
People
how
don't
the
seem
order
to notice
is.
that when the show goes off the air, we don't do anything Game of Thrones for like 10 months.
Yeah,
and then
I
when
don't
it's
give a
back on the
fuck.
air, that's when we watch it.
I don't
We're
care.
watching the show. Who gives a toss about the book?
Like, yeah, I don't want shit spoiled, but I don't give a fuck. Like, oh, that scene's very different. I don't fucking care. I didn't read the other thing.
Not all that different. Not all that different. The books are very closely followed
The
for the
best is
series.
like there's after the episode, which is just like two people in the room talking about it, and they don't want to spoil shit, but the smugness still reigns. So it's like, you know that part early in the episode? Yes, I thought the same thing.
Indeed.
You know, I can read.
Interesting.
Are you aware that I can read?
Interesting.
I've read books.
But then it's just like there's also during the episode where it's silence and just
Knowing
like,
looks.
I guess something happened different from the books.
There was a big event that took place in one of the previous seasons.
I don't care.
That's the big event. And it was like, you could tell the people who read the books because they were like this. When the moment happened,
Oh, yeah.
you looked over them, they're like this.
Yeah.
Like just-
See,
I
thankfully,
fucking hate that.
I'm just completely devoid of that when I watch it at home. It's just Lindsay and I watch it, and we've never read the books or seen it. We have the books now. She put them on our wedding registry.
Nice.
I'll probably never read them. I'll watch the show.
Are you much of a reader at all? Nah?
I don't care about reading, and I can actually read pretty fast. It's just like I cannot commit the time to sitting there and just reading. It's
No.
just like I'd always rather do something else.
You know what changed
Once
my
I'm
life?
There, it's just like I read, but I just can never find like 3 hours to do it.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Yeah. The series, if you want to really analyze like a series that's so different from book to screen, is the Walking Dead series on AMC. You could go back and read those graphic novels, and it's like a totally different series.
I've actually read like the first 70 or 80 of those.
Yeah. I mean, that one by like the third or fourth season, you're like, okay, that guy is actually this guy. This guy's not alive in the books. That guy's
That's very
dead.
different.
She's been tortured beyond belief. It's like it's similar characters, but the paths they take are just so different than the book. So it's pretty cool.
Some people's hands are swapped.
Yeah, pretty much. Something like that.
Yeah.
It happens.
So getting back real fast to Operation Supply Drop, I kept getting tweets and people were like, "Oh my God, Gus is gonna be so pissed. Everyone's fucking up your set. What's going on with the set?" And so I was like, "Oh my God, they're fucking up the set. They're trashing it." So I was so worried that when I came back into town Sunday afternoon, I came by the studio. I was like, "I'm gonna clean the place up." Surprisingly, clean.
Yeah.
Surprisingly put together.
That was a high
Thanks,
Is
five.
that you guys, Blaine and Cole?
Blaine
Yeah.
Cole just high five.
I was very
Yeah.
impressed. I
Cole-
came in on Sunday thinking I'm gonna have to clean up a shitstorm.
Cole was cleaning it as we were fucking it up, like a minute behind us. So like Gavin and I were fucking with popcorns, like I fell in it. It's like everywhere, and then Gavin fell in it, like and then we're sitting down. It's like, and then I can't remember who, and someone's like, and now Cole will clean it up, and he comes by with the broom, top notch.
It was very fast. It was
Yeah.
almost as fast as curling, where they're like right behind it.
With a big
Like
push
this.
room?
Yeah.
See the dudes who do that at the circus. They're just constantly on the fly cleaning. You guys ever
Following
go to the
elephants.
circus?
No,
by the way?
who
I don't
goes to
think
the
I've ever been to
circus?
the circus actually.
There's a circus coming to Austin, and I asked Ashley what her moral opinion was of the
What
circus.
is it, like clowns and crab, or is it just like
That's the big
acrobatic?
tent.
No, they got the.
You know, they got
you
the
never seen the
animals
circus?
No, but what is a circus these days? Is there like
They got the
elephants on a ball?
like the lion in the chair. The guy with the chair.
They got a great
going,
iPad
"Snap."
app. You can play as the lion and try to eat the trainer.
They have all that stuff. They got the elephants and they got the tigers.
Well, that's cruel, isn't it? You're still allowed to do that.
Well, that's what he just said.
Yeah, that's why it's a big. It's a big debate.
I
mean,
don't
there's
think it's much of a debate. I think it's fucked up.
you do?
Yeah, they should absolutely not
I mean,
have
an
You think the
elephant
zoo
is
is
one-
fucked up?
The zoo's a lot better. Zoo's still kind of fucked up, but they shouldn't do a zoo. But a zoo's a world. It's nothing at all like a circus. People who run circuses should be put in fucking jail.
Really?
It's almost as bad as SeaWorld.
Okay.
Fuck
Okay.
that.
Fuck circus and fuck
You don't think a
SeaWorld. Gus
circus
Sorola.
could be run humanely?
I don't think it's possible. You cannot give that kind of animal the amount of space it needs, traveling city to city, doing stupid shitty shows, making it sit on a goddamn ball or whatever the fuck they do.
Also, elephants, they go mental sometimes.
Yeah.
They get like the goo from their ears and they go mental.
They go
see red.
mental after years of torture, being
Yeah.
chained to the
Well,
ground.
They just go mental anyway.
Oh my God! I talk about remorse. We were on that show at midnight on Comedy Central last week. The three of us.
Yeah.
That was a rousing good time.
That was really fun. I was nervous about it. It was kind of scary to be doing live jokes in front of an audience.
On the fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really fun.
Yeah,
It was
they did a funny thing where during the commercial breaks, everyone comes out like, "You guys are doing great. Everything's so good. Everyone's laughing. Everyone's into it." It's like they're like trying to make sure you're still confident.
Yeah.
While they're like, getting cameras adjusted or set up or whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
it was
like
really.
fluffing your ego.
One
Yeah.
thing we should apologize for though is that the standby line. Oh, there's Gus.
Yeah, that's me.
Gosh, you
sweet
look
jacket.
good.
For the
Thanks.
audio audience, we're showing a clip right now of the midnight episode. You can actually watch it on Hulu.com, one of our sponsors.
The audience was so good. They laughed at everything. Oh, look, there's me with 0
The
points.
applause sign helps.
Yeah, they apparently
wonders.
they had their normal studio audience. Then they had like an additional overflow area that they just filled with chairs to get as many
They were just in
people
a
in there
back
as they
room
could.
watching it in the studio.
Yeah,
And,
when I got kicked off the show, spoiler,
Sorry about that.
I went back there and said hi to all those guys.
Yeah,
They were
right
nice.
before we go out, like they're warming up the crowd. They're like, "Okay, you guys are about to go out." They're like opening the curtain for us to go. Bernie's like, "Oh, look, there's people over there." He just like wanders off into the crowd, like starts saying hi to people, and like the person who's supposed to get us out on the stage is like, "What? No, where are you going?" Like trying to grab him and drag him back to get on the
Bernie.
stage.
No.
After 12 years, I know that's annoying to everybody that works with me. Is like when I see our fans, I just always like walk up. Like if we're in the middle of shooting something, and I'll just walk up and say hello to people.
Gavin.
I'm
That's
Gavin.
Bernie, don't
Yeah,
be a
what?
piece of shit
I
and
just
talk
sh-
to the fans.
I just shit my pants.
Yeah, but apparently they had to turn away quite a few people who showed up.
Yep. And Southern California is, a geographical region that seems connected, but it's really just a huge sprawling area. And some people drove from like 2 hours away and they didn't make it in. Finch wasn't there.
Oh, what happened to Finch?
And Finch was one of the people I relied on for like a week, 2 weeks before. I had
was
people
testing us,
drilling
wasn't
me.
he?
Yeah. Sending me topics over, they were sending me topics on the iPhone, me and Gavin. Gus, you were like, I'm not participating in this.
Dude, I was having a bad day. I could not be involved that
what was
day.
so bad about your day?
Like, so that was like a super shitty day. Like, 'cause when you were going in the back and forth and I had my Snippy unsubscribe thing, it was like, my grandmother had just had a stroke. My dog was sick. My realtor was like telling me bad shit about the condo I'm trying to buy.
Shit.
And it was like, and I was having to like paint and clean my house to get it ready to put on the market.
It's just
And
too
it was
much.
like, I can't do all of this at once.
Don't you keep thinking that you're going to get to a point in life where you got all this shit settled? Like, you're just going to be able to check some things off the list.
Well, you have that,
I
right?
had the house checked off, and I'm fucking
Yes.
redoing that apparently.
Oh, yeah, it just seems like you get there and it's
But
like,
you've
no.
got that. You
Yeah.
have house and pool.
No,
Pool.
It's and like the pool. Like last week at the pool, the fucking O-ring went out, and then when he fixed the O-ring,
the
he
what?
goes the O-ring. It's
Okay.
like a little gasket that plugs.
That's what made the Challenger blow up.
Shit's fucking leaking. Yeah, and it's doing that. And then he found there was a crack in the top of the filter thing, so they had to replace that. And then the cartridges were bad. So it's like I'm slowly just replacing everything in the fucking pool. It's just a closed system that circulates water. That's all it is. But it's like rocket science. No offense.
science.
No offense to the
Master
Challenger.
grade O-rings.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I just got over one of those huge milestones, and it's fucking planning a wedding.
Yep.
And I didn't even
Oh,
do it, but I was
Congratulations.
waiting for it to end.
This
Thank
is,
you.
This is your first podcast
It
sporting
was
your wedding
a
badge.
have a
lovely
wife.
wedding.
Thank you.
It was a great time.
Lindsay did all the work, and I did nothing.
It showed.
But
it showed because
it's
it was a
true.
very nice
It would have
ceremony.
been shitty if I did it, but I still had to put up with her talking about it for a year and a half. And I was just like, God damn it. Like, she was getting more and more excited as it was coming closer and closer. And then, within the last 2-3 weeks, it was excitement and then a little bit of like sadness that it was ending because it occupied so much of her time of planning it. And she was just like, it's kind of sad that it's ending, right? And I'm like, I could not be more fucking happy that it's going to be over. I can't tell you. Like, I don't want to get it done and over with, but let's just get it over with.
I think that's why a lot of women get pregnant quite quickly after the wedding because it's like the next project.
What is your statistical analysis that brought you to that conclusion that people
it's
get
like-
pregnant right away?
You
What
know,
do you
you
mean
need
some
like
people do it?
a new big life goal.
He didn't
Women's rights with Dr. Gavin Free.
no kids there.
Yeah.
They got married. No
Some
kids.
people like it. I get what you're saying, but it's not everybody that gets married.
I know it's not everybody.
Lindsay's cousin, whose wedding we went to
Where's he
last
with-
year, we
who's-
saw him at the wedding, and his wife is ready to plop out a baby. They got married and was like, baby.
There you go.
It's like
you
within
said
like a month.
the reason that women get pregnant after they get married right away is because they need a life goal after they were planning the wedding.
He did say that.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, they could have a life goal already.
You
like
set goals
work
for
or
yourself. That's what
something.
life is. It's like, well, I want to achieve this. Let's do it. Done. Now I
Okay,
want to
no
achieve this.
need for a career
Yeah.
or
It's-
anything
it's-
else.
I think he's
What
pointing
are
out
you
the
talking
fact
about?
that he just
Career is additional. That's not.
No. You said there was like a life goal from planning the wedding to getting knocked up.
That is a new life goal. Yeah.
But you don't
You're
know
not gonna
that.
You're not gonna be like, baby
Well, I
marriage.
need something
But you
else to
don't-
do.
you don't
I got
know
all this
that
time from not
everyone
planning a
wants
wedding.
their
My
kids.
order's all fucked up.
What do you
Baby
mean?
marriage.
What's everyone going mental about?
Because you're like, all right, the lady gets married. She got nothing to do. Baby.
No, she got nothing to do.
Basically what you just said.
You said she had extra time because she wasn't planning a wedding.
Sitting around doing
Gavin,
nothing all day eating
You
bonbons.
were just saying how Lindsay was sad that that bit was over. And
Right, so she
You
wasn't
threw a
like trying to
cushion
have a
at
baby to
yourself?
fill my time.
no, but now there's space for like a new thing. I know that Lindsay has a job. It's not like she's just a wife.
Right, but I mean, what they're saying here is maybe there's something else they could do besides having a baby.
I'm set. Screw it.
Are you having a baby?
No, I'm not. Not
No?
yet. I mean,
No.
eventually. Couple years.
Couple years?
2-3 years.
What's Lindsay going to do in the meantime?
Young man.
Young
Young man. Empty vessel.
I'll ask her in 3 years.
Yeah, is she planning more
Maybe
weddings?
she can plan a friend's
So
wedding.
I'm not going to be like, hey, it's time now.
You just make sure you don't fake it constantly because otherwise it won't work.
Yeah, man.
What was your last big goal that you ticked off?
I don't know. I would say the midnight thing was a good one last week. National television appearance, performing comedy on a national television.
So now have you set yourself a new goal?
Time to have a baby.
God damn
What
it.
are the
don't
nerve of these?
left.
They kept referring to us as comedians.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like landing a man. That would be awesome if I'd done that last week.
If only I could buy an oven that cleans itself, then my life would be complete.
Did you? I mean, you get the inherent why it sounds why we're calling you on it, though, right? You get why we're
Of
calling
course
you
he
on it.
doesn't.
Okay.
No,
he
yeah,
does not.
but I know it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I'm glad that you know.
If we don't call you on it right now, we'll all get called on it for the next week. So that's
Fair
the way
play.
that works.
Get it all out.
But that was a big life goal. What was your last big life goal? Like,
Gavin.
for instance, is it a life goal to shit your pants 6 times?
Done and done.
in a weekend?
No, I mean,
winner.
He fell short. He was one short of 6.
like buying a house is a goal.
That's a good one.
Becoming a resident would be a goal. all this stuff.
Replacing all the wiring in a house.
Dude, you're fucked.
So
Don't get a house filled with aluminum wiring.
is your
That's
house
bad.
a fixer-upper, or is it like move-in ready?
It's ready. It's like freshly renovated this year.
Freshly renovated.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Nice. Is
Yeah.
that true?
Apart from all the in the wires.
How old is it?
60s.
If you had to boil all your stuff down to like, what's your most important asset?
My most, like, the thing that means the most to me, I guess?
Not aside from family, like your wife obviously is important to you and all that, but like the most important thing in your life.
The most important, like, physical thing, like something I own.
Sure, whatever, or your dogs or whatever. Were they your dog?
Yeah,
Or you
my
like-
dog.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
How many? You have 2 dogs now?
I have 2 dogs.
2 dogs now.
Yeah.
Olivier and what's the other one?
Benjamin and Oswald.
Benjamin and Oswald. Does
I-
it insult,
I
you, does it
pick
insult you that
Benjamin.
I don't know the names of your dogs and
No.
we're good friends and
No,
I don't know the names of your dogs?
it's fine. Fuck it.
They're pretty rad, those dogs.
They're pretty cool.
Let's
I
have
say
some sweet dogs.
Joe the cat's my most important asset. Aside from like kids and family and stuff
Louis
like that.
C.K. has that bit where he talks about, like, when you give someone a puppy, you're giving them an incredible amount of sadness, like in 12 years.
Yeah.
Which is really true. It's like, here
Yeah,
you go.
like delayed
Here's
sadness.
this thing you're going to be really attached to for like a decade of your life,
the
and
fuck, that's
it's going to
cynical.
die.
Unless you die before the dog.
That's true. And it gets to eat your face or whatever
Happy
his
the whole
dogs do.
time.
We had this is gonna be a little bit of a bummer. We had a sad thing at my house this weekend. There was a dead baby possum in my driveway.
Terrible.
I backed the car out. And it was like under the car, and something had gotten it. Maybe it was Joe, not sure, but got a little on the neck, like a little right there, and it has some blood there. And I was like, oh no. And I noticed it, but didn't say anything. We came back later. I didn't park the car over it. Parked the car kind of like back away from it, and we ran out to get some stuff at the store real quick. And later on, my youngest kid, Teddy, he goes, hey, there's a possum sleeping in the driveway. And JD goes, yeah, it's sleeping. And I go, yeah. I go, Teddy, it's not. I think that the possum is dead. Sorry. I didn't know that you'd seen it. I was going to get it out of there once I got you guys all settled. And Teddy goes, no, it's not sleeping. It's like moving. Its fur's moving. It's breathing. Or he says it's breathing. And I said, no, I saw that too. The fur's moving, but it's the wind. I took a look at it. It's dead. And he goes, how's it moving its mouth? And I was like, what are you talking about? So we went out there and looked at it, and sure enough, the thing was alive. So we like bundled it up and like we tried to nurse it back to health over the course of the weekend, and didn't. Like the kids don't know this, but it's like didn't make it. So I don't know how. I'm in this like weird gray
Now they
area.
know.
Yeah, a little bummer. Somebody off screen goes, Jesus, really quietly. So
I told my possum story on the
Yeah,
podcast,
you like
right?
severed all their heads off, didn't you, or something?
I was going to sever their heads. My wife got mortified and made me call someone.
well, that's
I can't believe you could just stare at the ground like a little, was it baby possums?
Yes, 4 baby possums.
And you were just going to get a shovel and just be like, there's one. How can you do that?
Here is the problem, Gavin. The whole
With a
time I'm
shovel,
nursing
sounds like.
this possum back to health, the whole time in the back of my head, the kids are really, concerned about it. They're into it, so we're like figuring out how to do it. And we got made like a little box with a little bed in it and all that stuff, and transferred it very carefully into that. And we're feeding it sugar water. And the whole time I'm thinking, if we save this thing, it's just going to grow up to be a possum. It's like but it's like the best case scenario. And then we did have a long debate about like if it doesn't make it, are we just kind of like extending this? Is it like a bad thing? And then I guess at the end of the day, we just realized it's like, this is a lesson you tell to your kids as an adult. I'm like, it's always better to give something a fighting chance and don't give up on it. Knowing like fast forward 40 years, they're going to be making decisions about me. It's better to plant these seeds now.
That's really funny.
Like just sugar water.
Well,
with me,
Pull it.
I
Fucking pull it.
saw
Maybe a couple
possums.
strippers.
I saw possums. I was like, they probably have typhus. I'm just gonna kill them. I was like totally practical about it.
Yeah. They couldn't touch it or anything like that. They
Yeah.
were like, but they were definitely into like trying to figure out how to like nurse it back to health. So
So are you gonna tell them it like went to a farm or something, or?
no, I think I'll be honest about it. The main thing, I'm not worried about the whole life and death thing. I'm more worried about the, like talking about the Louis C.K. thing, the cynicism of thinking that they should have tried. You know what I mean? I'm worried about that, and I'll just figure out a way to like talk to him about that. So I'll just show him this podcast.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
You're like, listen, I got something to tell you here, but first, listen to Gavin talk about how he shit himself 5 times in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It's this
cheer you
thing that
up.
happens to adults when they get older.
Did anyone see Alan after that meal?
I did.
He didn't shit his pants.
I
He
saw Alan.
did not.
You asked him?
I know he didn't shit his pants. Have you ever met Alan? Not a guy that would shit his pants.
I want to call him.
Call him up.
Alan was baller. He posted a tweet. He went to the Jimmy Kimmel show after that.
Probably didn't shit himself there.
Yeah.
Probably saw the
Probably
show,
not.
went home, went to the bathroom like a normal person.
I was going to go to that. We got tied up doing something else out in Burbank, and I wasn't able to make it back in
Why
time.
don't you say what that is? Because
So we, while we were in LA, we recorded a special supplementary bit of audio podcast. So if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, at the end of it, you'll get an additional 45 minutes. We sat down and talked with Freddie Wong from Rocket Jump,
Always a
And-
treat.
Oh, good to always chat with him.
Yep.
And Kumail Nanjiani from
Silicon
a bunch
Valley.
of stuff, Silicon Valley,
Nerdist.
Portlandia,
Indoor Kids.
Indoor Kids podcast.
Yep.
And we just chatted for like 45 minutes about
How'd it
video
go?
games and stuff.
Funny dude.
Yeah, really,
Very
really
funny guy.
I've been a fan of his for a long time. It was really cool to get to meet him. I don't know. It's weird to be like you said, like not cynical, like actually be genuinely a fan of someone and be like, oh wow, it's actually really cool to meet you. I like the work you do.
Yeah.
So anyway, listen. If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you'll hear it here after we're done talking about Gavin shitting himself.
Yeah, and listen, it's it's a slow process, but one thing I've noticed is that our audience is like tends to be a little more resistant when we do guest stuff. But it's one of those things like there's a lot of times when we try new stuff and it's like it doesn't always work out at first blush. I was watching the Gauntlet today, and the difference between the Gauntlet season 1 and Gauntlet season 2 is fucking amazing. The Gauntlet season 2 is like I think it's one of my favorite things. Definitely one of my favorite things I worked on last year. But we just gotta keep trying different stuff and see. And I think this interview was really great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm hopefully people will enjoy it. I think it's our type of humor. It's very much in the vein of our podcast, just with a couple of special guests.
And Freddie's an old friend. We were I was actually sitting down with him because we were talking about he was sharing his crowdfunding stuff again because we're talking about the upcoming Kickstarter we want to do, and he's done 3 of them now that have just been amazing and really helped him take his production up to the next level. So
He is so nice and so accommodating. He had just been in Tokyo, and I didn't know he was in Tokyo at the time. I emailed him. I was like, hey, can we come by your studio and record a podcast? Then I saw he was tweeting in Tokyo. I was like, oh, and I replied with another email like, sorry, I didn't know you were in Tokyo. I'll find somewhere else to record. And he replied like, no, don't worry about it. I come back from Tokyo the night before you want to do this. Just swing by the office and we'll do this. I was like, okay. I show up to the office. He's like, oh, come in. Hey, let's play some video games. Like, we sit down on his couch and we start playing video games. He's like, what are we doing?
Best
I was
games
like,
ever.
a podcast. He's like, oh yeah, we'll record the podcast. Let's go get that set up. It's just he sets everything up. It's like, wow.
He's a nice guy. I met him at the Gauntlet season 2.
yeah,
Nice guy.
it was
cool.
awesome. The now Webby award-winning.
Yeah. Gavin, you were in that too.
I was.
Good job.
Thanks.
I was just watching the episode where you fuckers got eliminated.
Well,
It happens.
make it easier for
It
us.
happens.
Fucking why would you not rig it?
You played beach volleyball.
Why would you not rig it?
Oh, trust me, the comments where you guys got eliminated were just like, well, now I know it isn't scripted because they eliminated the fucking best people, the only people I want to watch on this fucking thing. Misery. The YouTube comments were like a misery for that episode. Just like, well, fuck this show. I'm out. But yeah, that was fun. I had a lot of fun shooting that thing. I don't know if we'll do a Gauntlet season 3. We haven't even talked about it yet. But and RTX is where we started where we always do some Gauntlet stuff. Maybe we'll do some Gauntlet-esque stuff in the spirit of Gauntlet. But I don't know. We'll see.
RTX, I want to say it. I know Jack always jokingly says it. RTX is actually almost sold out. We have very
Barbara's
few
gonna
tickets
fucking
left.
punch you for saying
No,
that.
we're officially saying it now.
Okay.
So you definitely need to buy your tickets if you're thinking about going. If you're thinking about exhibiting, our exhibit hall is actually also almost filled up. We have very few spots left. So if you're interested in being an exhibitor, contact Alan. Go to rtxevent.com.
It'd be awesome.
Yes.
We'll get 30,000 people this year. Mm-hmm. And how many exhibitors over like a milestone number? Like,
I think
is it
50.
Yeah,
I
it's
wanna
over
say.
50. That's
Yeah.
the last number I heard. Over
It's
50
it's over
exhibitors. That's
50.
awesome. That'd be great. And we got tons of panels. We're inviting lots of people to come out as well that do online video and gaming. So it should be really cool. Like we were just talking with. Have we announced the guys we were meeting with on Friday who are going to be there to do this
Guys
panel?
we're meeting with on Friday. I don't remember who we were
We
meeting
went to
with.
Beverly Hills with the 4 of us. Were in a meeting together.
Oh, right. No, I don't think we've announced that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, but we will.
Can you tell me after the podcast?
I think
YouTube.
our schedule's coming up soon.
So YouTube is rumored to be buying Twitch.tv for $1 billion. What do you think about that, Gus?
So I don't understand it. Like Twitch is a great platform for streaming video games, but I've always thought that the live streaming
like you're doing a book
capabilities
report.
on YouTube were better. Like the functionality on YouTube was more robust than the functionality you get on
Twitch has had some growth issues, I'd say.
Yeah, and I can see the thing that seems most attractive to me would be integrated streaming, on the new console platforms.
Yes.
But I feel like if YouTube
Those are
was
huge partnerships, dude.
Those are huge. If YouTube was really interested, they could develop similar functionality as well.
Yes.
Because on the PS4, even Twitch isn't exclusive. It's Twitch and Ustream.
Now, could they, though? Because Twitch might have a little bit of an advantage there because they're outside of the system. They're not really a competitor for anything that either Microsoft or Sony does. But Microsoft, if you go high enough, Xbox to Microsoft, YouTube to Google, Microsoft and Google are massive competitors.
Right, but there's YouTube apps that Microsoft develops and publishes for the
It's
Xbox.
true. And YouTube features lots of Xbox gameplay footage. And they
Right.
advertise Xbox and Titanfall. Titanfall is all over YouTube for advertisements right
Yeah.
now.
So I mean, I can see the competitive aspect, but I don't think in this sense it would be. So I don't know. I don't I don't really understand why they'd go after it. I feel like the YouTube streaming technology is better, but Twitch does have, I guess, the partnerships.
I don't know,
already
man. I
established.
think it makes sense to me. If you look at this, is probably a better topic for the past. We'll talk about it anyway. But if you look at the last year, top 4 channels on YouTube, 3 of them were gaming. There was us, PewDiePie, and Sky Does Minecraft. Were in the top 4 channels from last year. Gaming is a huge presence on YouTube, and I don't think necessarily YouTube really talks about it that much. So when you see the growth of Twitch, it could be along the lines of something like what Facebook did with WhatsApp, where they paid that ridiculous amount of money for WhatsApp. But it's really, I mean, at that point, you've got the market locked up. You should do just about everything in your power to keep it that way. It's definitely YouTube's
So,
best interest.
like a defensive move.
Absolutely.
Okay,
A $1 billion defensive move.
I could see that.
If the rumor comes true and, YouTube offers $1 billion for Twitch at the end of this week.
It's weird that the rumor broke on a Sunday.
Not that weird.
Really?
Before the market. I mean, I mean, how does a rumor leak? You know what I mean? It's just, you wonder how this stuff takes place. But, I would also be surprised if somebody else shows up and tries to offer Twitch a bunch of money. I think it's interesting that YouTube sold for $1.7 billion and they're offering Twitch, over half that.
Yeah, well, no one really got video at the time Google bought YouTube. Video was still definitely in its infancy on the
Fucking
internet.
Google got it,
and
didn't
it's
they?
just
Yeah.
crazy out there everywhere now. So
Yeah.
it could be the same thing with streaming, where they see the opportunity, like you're talking about a defensive move, where they see the opportunity for growth there, and they realize how big it's going to be moving forward.
You guys make a ton of YouTube videos. How do you feel about streaming?
Oh, should we talk now?
Yeah, we'll just fucking,
No, I mean,
you got a mic. You talk at any point.
I was absorbing. This is adult talk. I was absorbing information.
Guys, go fuck yourself. You're married.
Yeah.
Are you-
Doesn't
by
mean
the way-
I'm smart.
Are they-
man.
are they-
Jesus.
are
I
they
didn't
gonna-
get smarter when I got married.
That's
Are
the
they gonna-
best comment possible.
Are they going to graduate
married now.
Are they going to graduate you to the gents? How does that work? Like, when do you cross from lad to
It's
gent?
a
keeping him on lads.
feeling. It's not. There's not specifics. It just happens when it happens.
It's more art than science.
Yeah.
Michael
when
thinks
you
he-
make a baby, there's no
There's
denying it.
definitive. I mean, odds are if you
Oh, when
have
you make
a
a
kid,
baby.
you're definitely leaning towards gent. But I'm not saying you can't get there without the kid. Like clearly, Gus, you would be in the gents.
You-
Kidless.
Come on.
Yeah, you would be. Let's be
Michael
clear.
thinks
aren't
he
gray
has
hairs.
a choice about this. I'm keeping him in the lads.
Yeah.
As inventor of the lads, he's a lad.
Gavin,
lad
shut
for
up.
life. So,
Lad for life.
lad for life.
El
So let's
Pharrell?
say another 3 guys come along. You get up to 9 achievement hunters. You add 3 people younger than you guys, generation
teams.
younger than you guys. So that would be what?
Bitches.
The babies.
What would be the younger generation?
The boys?
The boys.
Wow.
It's not
Oh.
bad.
Have you put thought into this?
No, I mean, I didn't really put much thought into
The
the lads
runts.
either. But
Didn't you see him on Midnight? He's quick.
He's
Just like
comedian.
that. They cut out of Midnight. They cut 5 minutes that Gavin did about his penis. I actually haven't seen the full broadcast. I just skipped you guys and watched the parts
I
with me.
just got a lot of tweets saying that I was talking about my penis, so I
Yeah.
assume they left some of it.
Yeah, they left a little bit.
He went into
They
a
cut lot of it.
long, in front of a nationally televised
Did you just hear him go on about his shit?
live audience. He was talking in depth about his penis and his foreskin.
He
And that-
started describing us as the shaft and himself as the head.
Interesting.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
it
the
was,
bell end.
I can
Yeah,
tell
it
you,
got-
He had
got a lot
sound
of laughs.
effects.
we had the next Immersion coming out, right?
Oh, yeah.
You watched the preview?
Yeah.
I watched the preview. That's gonna get cut, right? Gavin, his whole dick. He goes on about his dick again in there.
No, it's fine.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, if it's like,
it's fine
if,
too.
it's,
We'll
if,
see.
if,
I
it's,
saw-
if it slows down the
I saw the
pacing.
downgrade.
I listen.
The guy likes to talk about his dick. That's all I'm saying. Like we're doing an intro to Immersion, and somehow it ends up with his penis, and he's talking about doing things
well,
to
we keep
himself.
being in situations where it comes up, like riding a bike.
Because you brought it up.
But it's
What does it mean
important.
riding a bike? I ride a bike all the time. My dick never comes
Well,
up.
I mean, for him, it's a special situation, though.
I mean, what the fuck comes up? You bring it up. And
No, I mean,
You're sitting-
You
oh, look, you're
put
sitting
me
on a
in
couch.
situations where it's like, do this, and I'm like, well, that's an issue.
My penis.
Yeah, we'll see.
My baby.
It makes it. I sent out notes on that. You guys hopefully agree with my notes on that.
I agree with your notes.
They
Yeah.
left my sicken in the
I
most
know.
recent Immersion.
Yeah, I saw it, and I laughed my ass off because I totally forgot about
There
it.
was a script. I think it was one of the early jobs. Was it for the Pac-Man one?
No, I think it was for Mario Kart.
Was it for Mario Kart? Where it was it had a line where one of us. I think it was me.
you.
I was
It was
supposed to say
definitely you, Gus.
that's sick, and I hated it so much that every take I made a couple of jokes about it.
Yeah,
It's calling everything sick.
We'd be wrapping up a scene, and they'd be like, all right, let's go do it. And you'd be like, sick.
All day. It was that sick.
So sick.
Fucking working on Immersion. Brandon is our director. And the one direction that he gives us that I hate more than anything else is when he goes, Okay, guys,
Big
that was
energy.
great. We need some more energy. The reason why I hate it is it's a perfectly good note because he's like, just get some more energy. Let's pump it up this time. We'll do another take, for like explanations or something like that. The problem is if he ever says it to Gus, Gus goes, "Oh, you want more energy?" And then I have to suffer through an entire take of Gus being over the fucking top, happy.
Are we gonna see like outtakes of that? Hopefully we'll put that out.
Just a waste of time.
I did one on that Mario Kart one that were. I don't know how I held it together. I was cracking up so bad.
Yeah,
we usually have
golly.
like a 10-minute outtakes video for the season, right?
We should probably do that. Maybe
Yeah.
we're having. I think we're gonna have an immersion
love that
panel at RTX. You might know better than I do. Barb,
Yeah, I believe so.
yeah. So we're having an immersion panel.
Who's on
so
it?
I think we're all just gonna go from panel to panel.
Yeah. You'll have a very full schedule of stuff
Yeah.
to do.
That last one by far has the most. The one that hasn't come out yet, the last immersion, just nonsense babbling in the beginning. Like we were doing the intro, and then it just turned into like talking for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, "What are we talking about here?" There's absolutely a part where I go, "What the fuck are we talking about? Like, what's happening?"
There was one, we were like 10 minutes into the
guys
intro. It was like, I guess we just did a podcast in the middle of this intro of a movie.
Everyone's just standing there watching us talk for like 5 minutes about Gavin's penis.
It's just like anything. Anytime you work with anybody, I mean, the longer you work with, the more comfortable you get. By the end of that thing, we were just like, the three of us were just like shooting the shit. Didn't matter at all. Like if you go back, I think if you look at the first couple that we worked on, like going all the way back to
going back to the Georgia one, hated you. I
simulation
hated
racer.
you.
I don't blame you.
By the this, it's just like tolerable.
It's tough. It's like big shadow, and you just like stand in that shadow, and you're just like,
Hey,
this
don't
is
worry
fucking
about it.
awful.
You'll get out
Doing
of it one
immersion
day.
was really fun.
I
had a great time.
got to operate the Phantom.
You did? You pressed the button?
Everybody gets so fucking nervous operating that Phantom.
Yeah, I love it up too.
I was operating it at a time when I was potentially in a little bit of danger because I was like right in front of Gavin as he was doing something. And then after I filmed the high speed thing, Gavin came up to me. He's like, "So were you nervous? Did you think that I was going to hit you or knock the camera over?" And I said, "No. If there's one person I would not be nervous about, it would be you. I know you would murder yourself rather than let anything happen to that camera." I knew I was perfectly.
It's true.
The safest place I could possibly be during an immersion is sitting right next to the Phantom.
Yeah, and it's not because of the cost, because we have insurance for it. It's just because it takes so long to get another one.
Yeah.
It's like a 2 or 3 month wait for a new one.
The best part about immersion in the Phantom is most of the times it's Gavin and I'll be doing it separately, so it's like they're filming me and I'm doing a bunch of runs and shit, and then we'll swap out and he'll go and they'll film a bunch of runs or whatever we're doing. But whenever Gavin's going, someone has to operate the camera. But
Yep.
whenever I'm going, Gavin operates it. So my slow-mo shots always look the best.
Fucking
They look
badass.
fucking great.
It's true. It
I
really
look
is.
so much better because you're better at it.
Yeah, the Mario Kart immersion when you were sliding and you just start taking a little bit of air. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I could just watch clips of that all day.
Yeah, it was cool. And also, I like that in the background of every episode of Immersion, you can see me operating the Phantom in whatever costume I'm wearing. So I'm Luigi crouched like this.
We have a lot of photos of you and a lot of different stuff.
That sucked though when he flipped the go-kart in Mario, because right before I was framing up on that corner, I wanted to track him as he came around because I was pretty sure he was going to flip the go-kart.
Because I kept telling you I'm going to flip the go-kart.
Yeah, but the screen on my monitor ran out of batteries on that shot, so I was like, bollocks, right as he was coming up. So I was just like, I just pointed it where I thought the corner was, and he went by, and I just went, well, I hope I got it.
Oh God!
But we got it.
Look at you,
I didn't.
You
I didn't
have
follow
real.
him.
Pro.
I don't want to call it luck because obviously you can recreate it consistently. You have a lot of like innate sense for that camera.
It's fucking
it's
amazing.
all reflex. It's
Yeah,
not like
it's
you
like
don't really
you're
think.
setting the
amazing.
exposure, like for the explosion stuff. Like,
Yeah, you just have
or-
to look at the light that you've got and look at the stop on the lens, like what is that, and then be like, explosion's probably going to be 3 times brighter. So there you
Fucking
go.
love it.
Nailed
Perfect explanation.
It's probably gonna. So
But the thing is, your shots are exposed well before the explosion and during the explosion, which I just don't understand how you're able to pull that off. But you
gotta
do it every
split
single
the
time.
difference. Sometimes you blow out a little, or sometimes it looks a little bit dark before. But it's all about finding the best, because the dynamic range on those cameras is just terrible.
What's your favorite slow-mo shot you've done?
I filmed a bug eat a bug out of the air.
Oh,
I
that's
was
right.
amazed by that.
Gavin likes
Total
the
fluke.
most, like it's really impressive stuff. But I think
Only to me.
only you have an appreciation for
That's
it.
a really forgettable video, but for
Like
me, I was
you
like,
and Dan
wow, that's like
pouring
the
the
coolest.
liquid at the same time. That's like another moment.
My favorite thing about that video you're talking about where the bug eats the bug is the sound effect you use for the bug eating the bug, like that crunch.
I ate a bit of popcorn.
It's so perfect. Yeah, also, I think my favorite thing that you worked on was that Millimeters Matter
Yeah.
commercial, like the throwing pies,
Yeah, we
tiny
talked about that
pies
on here
at flies.
before. That was an extremely long shoot.
My favorite is still the one where Dan is just sitting there next to the fucking watermelon that explodes, and it's like it all just goes in slow motion. All smacks his face, and then he goes. Like this human reaction is so much slower.
It's like tweeting about Operation Supply Drop.
yeah,
The thing happens, and then 13 hours later, a tweet goes
that
out.
was regular motion. That was real time.
That
okay?
melon was great though, because it was like, phew, and he was just like, because he wasn't expecting it. But I left it in afterwards. Like he thought I'd stop filming, and he was like, "I'm not being funny. That absolutely twatted me. That was really dangerous." What we just did.
it was completely dangerous. And he has no eye protection on, does he?
No. Well, I told him to have it side on, so it probably wouldn't hit his eye. But even if it hit the side of his eye, that would have had it.
Yeah, it probably would have.
Big chunk just went right there.
He thought that was more dangerous than the exploding glass jars
That was also
that
a
he
bad
was
one.
running away from, exploding next to him.
You get lucky a lot.
Yeah.
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 But that's what
you've
life's
been
about,
fortunate.
though. It's about luck. It's
true. About
You're
stringing together.
lucky until you're
Not
not.
entirely. No,
do
not
you mean?
entirely. Preparation's part of it too.
Yeah, but look how lucky we all are.
Is luck a
so
side
far?
Is luck a side effect of preparation?
You what? Like you make your own luck?
Right, like you set yourself up for good luck.
Yeah, you can make the odds of luck better.
I'll agree with that.
But we're all pretty lucky, right?
So yeah, so far. So
I
far.
completely agree. Fucking lucked out like a son of a bitch.
Yeah, this last immersion, I was glad we got out of that without any major
That was
stuff.
all skill, okay?
That was listen. There's some stuff in that, Michael, that's legitimately impressive.
When does that come out?
must
Not
be
this
watching
Thursday, but
something
next
different.
Thursday.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
next Thursday.
Yeah.
Mario came out last week.
Yeah.
That was the one I was talking about, by the way. The Mario immersion. That was not sponsored in any way. That was just weird timing that it ended up like literally 2 weeks before the release of Mario Kart, and when we got like the embargo lifted of like all Mario Kart footage. That was just super weird timing. But it was not a sponsored video.
Yeah, you're talking about is a couple weeks ago on the podcast. You said we have an upcoming immersion that's going to seem like it's sponsored.
Based on the timing of it.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just super strange.
I also liked in that video, Michael, because we did several runs in the carts, and in every shot you've got your seatbelt on, except for the one take where you flipped out of it.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yep.
Listen, not intentional. There was a lot of in and out of that fucking cart. And it was like in the cart and then out of the cart and into the cart and out of the cart. Forgot to put it on that one time. So there were comments on the videos just like, it's not a big deal. It's got a roll cage. It's like, well, I fell out, though.
It's a big deal when the roll cage rolls over
If you
you.
see what actually happens is I turn to the left, so it tips over. I hit my right shoulder, and the cart slides, and I'm just kind of laying there. And then I just put my thumb up so people knew I wasn't dead. And people start running over, and they grab the cart, and they're like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like 1, 2, 3, and they lift the cart, and I'm just like, "Oh!" And I'm on the ground, like I just see the cart get lifted up, and I'm like, I guess I wasn't attached to it, so I just fell the fuck out. And I was
the cart
like,
around you.
I was like sitting in the cart, just dragging with it. But
Yep.
then when it stopped, I was just laying on the ground, and they just picked it up, and I was just as surprised as they were.
feel late.
GoPro shot, and you're
was-
just like on the floor.
I was going through all the comments. I think I saw one comment that was like, "Holy shit, he wasn't wearing his seatbelt. You can see it flapping in the wind." And like nobody noticed. And I was like, unintentional. Hey, buckle your seatbelt. But I had the helmet and I had the pads.
Safety
and I
message.
had the shoulder. It was fine.
That's one of my favorite reasons I love that slow-mo shot so much, though, is that as he's coming around the corner and 2 of the wheels are tipping up, you just see his foot, like, come off the accelerator.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, he's like, I've gone too far.
Yeah.
It's too late now, buddy. But I do
Oh,
like
here
the
it
fact
is.
that
It's
in
right
the
on the
course.
screen.
Oh, here's the shot of him coming around in slow motion.
I think they're still
There it
trying to
was.
find
They're
the exact
fucking
moment.
with the
The
screen
YouTube
there.
slide. There we go.
So now they're showing it.
Look
and
at his
they're
foot come up
watching.
there.
Yeah, you can see my foot come up.
Oh, and there he goes.
Oh.
Oh, mullered, as Gavin likes to
That
say.
was cool.
I like that you gave us the thumbs up, telling us that you were okay.
Yeah.
But less than 2 weeks later, when we shot the next one,
Yeah.
you actually faked your own death during a similar
Yeah,
incident,
but
kind
I
of a
said
thing.
I was gonna do it ahead of time.
But people had forgotten.
I told several fucking people. I told
Freak the producer
I told
out.
Brandon, okay? I told Aaron. I was like, listen, if this happens, I'm going to do this. Just don't freak out about it because I'm going to do it. I'm just fucking around.
How'd that
I'm
work
like,
out?
All right, I'm doing it. You know, the thing happens and I'm doing it. And I hear, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then I hear whoever's in the car with them going, it's fine. It's from the game. It's from the game. It's from the game. And then it's like, oh, and then everyone's just like, oh, you didn't tell her what you were going to do. I'm like, I fucking told everybody. And then she comes over and she's like, yeah, they told me like an hour ago. I just forgot.
Yep.
She's like, I thought you were having a seizure. I forgot.
I
It was a hot fucking day out there.
It was fucking hot. At the end of the shoot, when we're doing the wrap up, my face is fucking sunburned as shit.
I'm always so worried about you. It's
I'm
kicked
so
up with sunburn, or
burned.
if you're just like like got that dehydrated like red but not sweating when someone gets like so super hot that they're like they look kind of like tight in their own skin. Yeah, yeah. I was worried about them.
Their face gets leathery.
Yeah, there's like
They've lost all moisture. It's just been
drawn. Yeah,
evaporated
basically.
out of them. Here, let me read this thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of the podcast is also brought to you by. So a little something I think we lost in the movement to our new set here is you can't easily reach into the camera like you could previously.
No, I can reach all the way. I can't reach all the way out. I can't get. That's not me. There you go. See, that's.
Yeah. Wait, can I get?
I can't
No,
get.
I
I
can't
can't
get
get
it.
the
No
Gus's
way you get
frame.
out there. It's so
What if
far.
I use a
I
pillow?
can do it.
Yeah,
I can get the pillow in there.
Yeah, I can still reach out there.
I like to try.
Things are set up a little
Hey.
differently.
Hey.
Hi, what's up?
After the kids, you need a new goal, right?
That's my new goal.
Try and get in the camera.
That's right.
Bring a stick.
I've got a man.
Bring
Next
a
time,
stick.
next time you can wave the stick. Put a baby on the stick.
We had sticks.
So it was. I don't want to sound like one of those people who complain all the time about it, but when we were in LA, that's the hottest it's ever been.
That
That's the
sucks.
hottest I've ever experienced in Los
It
Angeles.
sucks to be in
It
a
was
place
awesome
that
weather.
doesn't like hot weather and is not equipped for hot weather and it has hot weather. Seattle was the worst when they had like 104 degrees and people started dropping dead because there's no AC anywhere in Seattle. They're just not used to it.
Why?
Just
Just fucking buy some.
they just don't need it.
The fuck does that mean?
What do you mean?
It's normally
Put
not
some
hot
in.
enough for it.
Put
Just
some
open your
in.
windows.
Some.
Put
Buy a
some
fucking
in.
air conditioner.
Just
Throw it in the
fucking
window. Don't die.
Toss
What,
it
for
in.
like 1 day a year?
It's not that much.
You
you
fucking
know?
tough it out. You tough it out.
Or you fucking drop dead.
Yeah. Or just go see a movie.
Yeah, you tough it out, or you don't.
Yeah.
Or it toughs you out.
I don't know if I'm sitting at home thinking like, yeah, it's pretty hot. I might die today. I'd go spend the $250.
LA was like that, man. 100 degrees is hot in
No,
LA.
you wouldn't.
I've never.
Yeah, I would. Are you kidding me? If
So,
you're gonna
okay,
come
say
to my
you lived-
apartment, it's fucking 65 degrees
Is
at
my
all
life
time.
worth $250?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Mine is, sure.
I've never been more acutely
you
aware
serious?
of the temperature difference in different parts of LA than I was on this trip. It's like you go out to the valley and
You sound so much like you're from LA now.
hot
the way
as
you talk.
shit, and then you like drive
that
out
would
towards
kill
the
you.
ocean, nice and cool.
Yeah. That's cool. I don't like taking off from LA because you take off and you go the wrong way over the ocean.
Way out over the ocean.
It seems like every time I fly, that bit gets longer. I swear, I was like 20 minutes over the ocean.
Yeah, I went a long way over the ocean too. I got on my Fog of the World actually. I could see it where it's like
You went even further?
I'm like, these motherfuckers taking us way the hell out. You know,
Yeah.
there's those weird islands.
You
that
just
are
go,
up-
you just fly towards Asia.
yeah. And then the pilot's like, I guess I'll go back to Texas.
Yeah.
How
No big
far
deal.
towards Asia do you get?
Well, far
A
enough.
bit.
Like if you fell out
Not
of the
significant
plane,
amount.
if you fell out of the plane, you wouldn't be able to swim back.
It's so funny you say that. I think about it exactly the same way.
I like
Why?
I watch ourselves go out, and I'm like,
like
it's at this
if we
point.
crashed here, it's like I could swim to shore. Maybe I can make that, but there's a tanker right there. And then I think, how would I climb up the side of a tanker? I literally like have all these
I
thoughts.
did the exact same thing.
It's like, do I speak Polish? Can I communicate with?
It's funny you say that. I was on a much lamer, much smaller scale. I went out to the Santa Monica Pier, and I was like, as I was walking down the pier, and I got to the end, I looked back, I said, yeah, I could easily swim that. Then I started looking for milestones out in the ocean, like, could I swim from there? Nah, I'd die from there.
I got caught in a riptide once.
Did you die?
No, I didn't. I didn't die. I lived.
Nice.
It sucked though. It's like I understand how people die.
Was
Like
it like touch and go, or was it like not even close, or was it just like, ooh, that was
Did you
scary?
accept death?
Did you almost get got?
no, I tried to fight it for a long time, and then you realize how trying to fight a major current in the ocean. That's what happens to people. They just
So you just
they,
gotta float
They get
and wait.
exhausted. You just gotta go with it and go where it's going.
Yeah, there's when
I went under a bridge.
So how far out were you when you popped up?
I didn't go under ever. I just had to go with it. At one point, I was holding onto a crab trap. That's how bad
Somebody
things.
pull you in, or?
That's how bad things got.
I got a big one. Did you fit inside of it?
Crab's
It's
like, this is
fuck.
ours. Get off the thing. Get off. This is where we're hiding now.
Getting snipped.
You know, like the styrofoam balls that are at the top
Yeah.
of like the flag. I was holding on to one of those for a little bit. Yeah, just mean some buddies. None of us died though.
Were there crabs in there?
Good job.
I didn't check. That's illegal.
you could eat, you'd be like, I'm okay for the next day or two. I'll
funny
just have
if
some
all that-
liquid shits like Gavin.
It'd be funny if all the crabs were like people fishing. They're like, I can't believe what we got here.
I read a
This is
funny story
brilliant.
online. A guy was talking about scams in the world. The one was about Budapest, where you just came back from.
Budapest.
Where if you run into a girl there who says she wants to practice her English and just sit down and buy her drinks so she can practice her English, and girls in Eastern Europe tend to be very pretty. And then we sit down, and then the girl disappears, and you're stuck with like a $900 bar tab. And apparently, this is totally legal to
How
do this.
$900?
Well, because she takes you to a bar where they have jacked up prices. You order a couple rounds, and you find out that you've ordered something like a bottle of wine that's ridiculously expensive. That's why I call it a scam, Gavin.
Why can't they scam you at a cheap place?
Gavin's trying to work it out. It's like, that sounds like a terrible
There was a
business.
bar that got shut
Why would I spend
down.
that much money?
There was a bar in Austin that got shut down for something similar. It was up like off of 35 and 183, I think, where they would have young women come around to talk to the customers, and if you bought them a drink, their drinks were like $20 each.
Yeah.
And they would,
Do
and
they
their
work
drinks
for
were
the
very,
bar?
their drinks were very watered down, and they worked for the bar.
Son
Yeah,
of a bitch.
that's a common thing. I mean, it goes back a little bit like the Old West.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that common in Japan too?
Well, that's like the conversation club I went to that I've told that story.
Yeah, yeah.
So the good thing to do is if a girl comes up to you in a bar, you say, "Sweet, let's go to a different bar."
Yeah, that's the out. That's what people suggested. And the guy who was telling the story, he goes, "But this never happened to me, even though I've been to Europe a bunch of times. This never happened to me because my face looks like a bucket of smashed crabs."
You're right.
It just struck me as so funny, and I'm laughing right through. He goes, "Yeah, my face looks like a bucket of smashed crabs," and I just thought that was the funniest description.
You know what
That's
else
one-
you
that's
could
one
do?
of
But they're
my
not
favorite-
doing it because they think the guy's good looking. They're
I
just doing it
know,
because
it's
the
just
guy's
like-
money.
Right.
That was this
That's one
guy's
of my
out.
all-time
Someone that
favorite
ugly
things.
can't possibly have money.
You know what else you can do?
Face
Just don't
like-
buy him any drinks.
Don't buy him any drinks.
I always heard
Where's the
bag.
fun in
Equal
that?
rights.
Where's the fun in that, though?
Come on.
Well, you're already married. You're on to your next goal. You don't have to worry about that. A lot of guys out there, like a pretty girl from Eastern Europe, says, "Buy me a drink."
They want to help her reach
Buy
her
him a
next life
fucking
goal.
drink. That's what I would say.
Fucking Michael.
Did you say bucket of smashed crabs or bag of smashed
a
crabs?
bucket of smashed crabs?
I've heard bag before.
I think
a
a
great
bucket
saying.
seems more
never,
likely.
Never heard of that before.
They
Makes
could
me
cut their
laugh.
way out of a bag, Gavin.
Guy made me laugh.
The crab bag.
Yeah. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
A crab bag?
Yeah.
Is that like a grab bag filled with crabs?
It's a grab bag you don't want to reach into.
Don't grab
Do not
bag.
grab bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, one of my favorite things ever from. Did you guys ever watch Jackass 2.5?
Yeah.
No.
2.5.
It was like
that
the
DVD one.
It was the DVD one.
It was a DVD one, but there was like tons of shit that wasn't in the movie.
God, it was so
It was like
fucking
almost
funny.
a different movie.
Yeah, I think it was the additional one. There was the 2, and then there was 2.5.
Yeah.
It was all new stuff. But you know those C clamps? Those like super hard clamps that you always see on movie production sets?
Yeah.
They're like just like
the ones that
Johnny
are like-
Knoxville. Yeah, no, it just looks like a big clothespin. And you had to like
Well, that's
jam
not a
it.
C clamp then, is it?
No, it's not a C clamp. What are those called? You're right. It's not a C clamp.
It's like the little clips.
Yeah, it's like a clip clamp.
It's like an industrial chip clip.
Well,
Kind of,
Clayton will
kind
know.
of.
Clayton, what's that thing called? One of those clips
What's
called?
the thing? 5
There's
seconds.
one behind the set, yeah. But what are they called?
I don't know what it's called, but here's
Give me
one.
that.
If
They're
we
gonna give
look
me
at
one.
it,
That's
it'll
even
tell
better.
us what the fuck it's called. And that was a terrible throw, Blaine.
Most athletic guy. Blaine just threw
Not
it
athletic, okay?
2 feet away.
You work out your glamour muscles.
So
work
this
out
is
on
it.
your fucking core, Blaine.
So
Jesus
this is it
Christ.
right here. This is the clamp.
You think you can work your forearms with those?
Yeah, you can
God.
look. Rah, rah, rah.
He barely got it on the set.
So Johnny Knoxville attached a fake crab to this, and he would walk up to people and he'd like walk
Oh,
up,
my
like
God.
right the back of their arm, and he'd go wink, and they'd go out, and they'd turn around, and there's a crab. They'd be in the middle of a sound stage, and they'd see a crab.
Dude, those movies are fucking hilarious.
Who the hell would think of that?
Fucking
You know?
hilarious.
And they always struck me as one of the funniest things ever. And he'd walk around with this crab clamp all day long. So it's this. I don't know what this is called, but these things are fucking tough as shit. Like,
Gator clamp.
gator clamp? Fuck. Yeah,
Yeah, those
they're
things
tough.
hurt.
They hurt.
You okay?
Can you
Yeah.
put it on your ear right now?
Put it on my ear?
Yeah. Do it. Do it. Don't
I mean,
listen
it's
to them.
probably not that
Okay,
bad.
that's okay. I got it. There we go.
Oh my God! I can't believe you did
Gavin,
that.
do
You
it.
gonna put it on something?
On my ear.
I'll give you a $10 to put it on your bottom lip.
That'll hurt.
Let it go. Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Put your bottom lip.
Oh, that's crushed it.
That's the way it works.
And that's the day
done what
Gab
it's supposed to do.
got a flat ear. On your nose?
Gavin,
Oh,
don't make
Gavin,
that thing even
don't.
bigger.
It'll
do it.
spread the pressure out over such a large surface area. It'll
What
be
if it just
fine.
never came
That's
back?
the moneymaker, dude. Don't mess with that. You don't tell
we
that
used to have
Superman's cape.
contests with these on set. I put these in several places on my body.
Horrible places.
Not my nuts.
In
though.
them?
Do the back of your arm. See if you can do that.
Like this.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a clamp pro. Oh, that looks painful. What
Now
if I
imagine you
slap it a
feel
little
that, and you look back.
And there's a crab
All
there.
you see is the crab. Oh, this was so funny. But
Crabs are weird animals. Crabs are fucking funny to me.
anything that lives in the
There-
ocean is
There
weird.
is something comedic about watching the way a crab walks, like sideways. And I know there was like every now and then whenever I would go to the beach in Puerto Rico, there were some crabs that when they'd look at you, they'd like point their pinchers at you like they were guns. And then like if another person walked up, they'd be like,
It's a Puerto
like
Rican thing.
having a standoff. Like, come on, dude, you're not fooling anyone. You just have pinchers.
It's like the end of the good, bad, and the ugly.
When they have their claws like this, do they have a cross in their claws? Like they're like left and right and like,
You know it's a gangster crab when it turns it sideways.
it snips like up and down. It's less accurate that way, but it's way more
Back
threatening.
up! Back up!
Oh, I love crabs. It's so fucking funny.
So are they walking sideways or are they looking sideways?
They're walking sideways.
No,
They
crabs
face
walk
this way.
sideways.
They face this way. I mean, they're walking. You're saying the whole animal is based on which direction they walk?
Well, if they walk in one direction, that's forwards.
Well, then that would be like if
Wouldn't forwards be the way you're looking?
but then their arms, everything is sideways. So they're walking sideways. The orientation of the animal is this way, and it walks.
Yeah, so it
this
doesn't
way.
have a face on the side of it.
no, I mean it's looking one way and walking the other way.
Yeah.
Its face is under its eyes.
But which way is
Or its mouth.
forward, left or right?
Either way, it has options. It's going places.
Fucking Christ.
But they all walk the same. They all
Just
face the
shut the
same
fuck
direction,
up.
don't they?
What if a crab started running forwards though? That would freak you the fuck out, wouldn't it? Like, I mean, what's the?
Ah! You start screaming. Ah!
Dot, dot, dot.
What is this?
So you saw Godzilla?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
Gus, no.
I really want to see it.
I saw that movie.
I saw it.
Yeah, I saw it too.
5 out of 10.
I liked
5
it.
out of 10, huh? Did you watch any Godzilla movies growing up?
I watched the 98 one.
That doesn't
That
count.
doesn't count.
Well, that was
That
one
was
of
Maybe
the-
that was Zilla.
They even
We
say
talked
that doesn't
about
count
that.
now. They took it out of the canon.
the canon of what?
Godzilla.
Well,
Who
that's a lot
owns
of fish.
Godzilla?
Tojo? Is that the name? Toho? Is what's the name of the film company?
I'm sure somebody in our audience knows.
Totoro.
I'm not.
What?
Toho.
There you go. Toho.
I thought it was alright. I give it a
What, because Godzilla's meant to be good and he was bad in that movie.
6.5.
He was bad. Was he bad in this movie?
No,
No,
he
he's
was
talking
bad
about the
in
98 one.
Oh,
Wasn't he
yeah.
bad? They were
Godzilla's
trying to-
never really supposed to be good.
but
sort
just
of.
protector of the
I
planet.
guess. Sort
Force of nature.
Well, it's just like the Godzilla's thing is pretty much he likes to fuck up monsters. He doesn't fuck up people, but when he fucks up monsters, he will totally fuck up people if they're in the way.
I thought it
It's
was
always
it-
been kind of Godzilla.
Great homage to the Godzilla movies that we grew up watching.
I agree with that, but I can also see why some people didn't like it. It's too long and it takes way too long to get going.
How long is it?
It takes fucking
When you say it's
forever.
too long, the front of the,
The
movie is
beginning.
too long.
The beginning. I
The
agree.
first act of that movie
The
is
first
like,
act is way too long.
and you can replace the whole first
And it
act
kinda
with
goes-
just the title card that tells you you're in a
it kind
Godzilla
of goes
movie.
nowhere.
Goes
too.
nowhere.
Like there's this big build up. There's like the initial setup. You know, the first 10 minutes of the movie, and it's like something happens, and then it's 15 years later, and then you're like, okay, this is gonna be the movie. But then like another 40 minutes later, then it's just like, okay, now you're in the movie, and it's like, oh, so all that beginning shit was kind of pointless.
There's also a thing I noticed in that movie is that, and we're not going to go too deep into spoilers. I always feel compelled to say that shit, but it's about a big fucking lizard. I don't know what we can spoil.
Dinosaur.
The problem with the movie is every time they have a character, they're like, you know what would be good instead of having a character here? Let's have 2 characters. They have literally 2 characters for every possible part. Like even the Japanese guy, Ken Watanabe.
Yeah.
He has an assistant. The woman.
Yeah.
There's no reason why she should be in that fucking movie.
Well,
and then
he needs an
the
assistant,
black
Bernie.
military guy shows up and immediately introduces him to another military guy. And it's like,
Yeah.
and even the main character, there's 2 main characters.
What was weird was that big, like, sweeping introduction of the admiral on the ship, and how it was like it started on his hand,
And he
it
was
like,
talking.
and he was talking, and then it did this big camera reveal of his face, like dun dun dun. It's just like, so what? Who's
It's
that
just-
guy?
it's just a guy.
It's some
It's a
guy.
guy.
I completely
Why that
agree.
big
there's
intro
there's
for-
a big lead up.
If it
and
was
it's
a
like-
huge actor, maybe.
Right. It's like
Right.
you hear him for like a minute or so before he's talking, and it's all like a slow reveal of the character.
It's
And then
very
as
clearly a
as
reveal.
he finishes his sentence, it cuts to his face, and it's just some guy.
And there's like 2 seconds of just like,
yeah, I'm
So
an
what?
actor.
yeah.
So it's
And-
two,
and
it's
I'm
2 hours
acting
and 3
here.
minutes long.
It's too long.
And the
beginning's way
first
too
act
long.
of the movie is like an hour and 15 minutes. Probably.
Jesus.
Which is usually the first 20 minutes in most movies.
The movie's just full of the biggest plot holes that just annoyed me.
But
Like,
it's
I'm okay with that. I don't
so
really care.
Hiroshima was them trying to kill the monster, right?
no.
No.
It wasn't.
No, the stuff at the beginning. So the original Godzilla, as the atomic age came about, with like all,
That's in the trailer.
all the nuclear testing. There's the testing of the Pacific Atoll or whatever, where they did all the nuclear testing in the French Polynesian Islands, which everybody protests over these days. In the original series of Godzilla, that's what woke up the monsters. That stuff, but they kind of changed that a little bit. But it it didn't have anything to do with Hiroshima. Even though they talked a little bit about Hiroshima,
They mentioned it,
You're like,
yeah.
what about it? And it's like, never mind.
I was there.
Oh yeah,
or my
all
grandfather.
of the
or
nuclear
whatever.
tests were them trying to kill it.
Yeah, they're trying
Yeah.
to kill it.
Right.
You're getting to spoiler territory, which I tried to definitely avoid that. But
So they were trying to kill it with nukes.
Yeah.
Right.
I
in
think
the
that
50s.
was in the trailer.
I mean, that's
Which is in
pretty.
the trailer.
Yeah,
It's in the
pretty much
50s,
trailer.
yeah. The twist on this take is that Godzilla, the tests in the 50s were them secretly trying to kill this thing that they had discovered.
Right.
Yeah.
But then they're like, sweet, let's kill it with a nuke again.
They talk about that, though.
But they know it's not going to do it.
They
And
just
also,
don't-
they're doing it right on a city.
They justified it.
How?
They say it in the movie.
They say it in the movie. I don't want me to tell you why they say it in the movie, why it's different.
Why don't you ask him when the podcast is over, and he won't spoil it for anyone, and he can explain it to
But
you.
if you liked Godzilla movies as a kid, this is probably the best way they could do a big blockbuster version of Godzilla and have it be true to that. The problem is, I don't think people necessarily always want something that's true to the way it was when they were a kid. What they want is they want it the way they remember it, not the way it actually was. But you can't ever do that with people. It's
true.
You got to go back and reference the original material when you're like a director who gets the gig, and you're like, oh, I'll make it just like this and this, and people will love it. It's like, yeah, it's right, but it's not right. You know what I mean? It's correct, but it's not right.
It's someone else's interpretation of the nostalgia you have.
Yeah, you can't ever figure out what that is.
I'm excited about the new X-Men movie.
I'm totally excited about it.
Yeah.
Although Colossus, they can't fucking seem to get Colossus right, and it seems like the easiest dude. Well, he looks wrong. Like he looks too shiny, which I know he's metal, but there's matte metal too.
Does he
like,
look different than in X-Men 2?
No, they keep not getting him right.
They're
Yeah,
just like, fuck it, we got it.
I thought the big, they Sentinels.
Yeah.
I thought they looked a bit crap with the glass front.
totally disagree.
Really?
I mean, they look different
I thought
than they did in the
looked better
comic.
in the cartoon.
In the comic, they were like super like late '80s looking things. They almost look like they were from the '50s.
I'll say the new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer came out today. Visually, the movie looks fucking incredible. Like there was way more visuals in this
How
trailer.
the fuck did Chris Pratt get that ripped?
I don't know. Dude,
Blaine, what's
how
he
the
doing?
fuck did Chris Evans get that ripped? That guy was fucking scrawny as shit.
Yeah, scrawny. He was a big fat doughboy.
Was he? Chris Evans?
Parks and Rec. He's
What?
like lumber.
Oh, you're talking about Chris Pratt.
Oh, who? You
I
think-
was talking about Chris Evans, Captain America.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, he
that
was
guy's-
never fat, but he was just like thin. Like in Not Another Teen Movie, he was just normal. And
He had
then
a
in
banana
Fantastic
sticking out
Four,
his ass.
he was like super thin, athletic at
Yeah.
best, and then he got fucking huge.
Well,
for
that's a
Captain
lot
America.
of years. Chris Pratt was in fucking Parks and Rec last season, and then he's on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Dude, it's a fucking hoss.
He was when somebody's like, "Here's a bunch of millions of dollars." It gives you the incentive
Yeah.
to fucking work out.
They got a picture of Colossus here. Yeah,
he really
does.
slimmed down for the Lego movie though.
He
Yeah,
did.
Colossus is too fucking shiny.
He is very fucking shiny there.
See,
I
the-
don't even think he's that shiny in the second one.
Yeah, so here's the deal.
It's a picture of Colossus, and he looks shiny.
Yeah, we're showing a picture for the audio listeners of what's his name? Piotr? Is that his name?
Nobody cares.
Yeah, anyway, and then his alter ego, and then Colossus. And in the comics, they weren't gonna fucking draw him reflective in every goddamn panel of the comic. So they just made him silver, but
Right.
like
So
a matte silver.
Can we get
Kinda
a
like
comic
Silver
paint up
Surfer.
of
So
it?
it might be realistic, like Colossus might actually be all shiny like that, but I never saw him in the comic looking that way.
He looks, in honestly, this shot, he looks more like the fucking T-1000. He looks like liquid,
and that's how he looks in the trailers too.
like alloy.
I want to
Bugs
say
me.
about Chris Pratt. Don't forget he was also in Zero Dark 30.
Oh,
was he?
Right, I didn't see that.
Yeah,
That's
and,
the Bin Laden thing.
He was pretty buff in that as well.
Yeah.
So he was probably still riding on that.
He was a little pre-buffed.
Yeah,
And then he got
pre-buffed.
over-buffed.
Yeah,
But
he went from realistic human badass to comic book
Right.
stupid.
Right.
I travel with a raccoon. Badass.
Yeah, I know Guardians of the Galaxy's all over. Like, Jack is just, like, fucking jerking his gherkin for it. Yeah, and I know you guys don't really give a shit about it. I'm just kind of like, whatever. I'll see it when it comes out.
I'm
But
in your camp.
The
I'm kinda like,
trailer
whatever.
looked fucking cool. That's all I'm saying. Is like, I mean, there was a lot of different visuals. All the space stuff looked amazing. Visually, it looked really cool. So,
Thought there's a space station that's built out of a. If you haven't seen the trailer, yeah. Look
holy
at that.
crap!
Look at the
There's a
difference. Look at the
shot
difference
of
in that
Chris
guy.
Pratt, more like Chris Fat, except now he looks awesome. So
Yeah, he went from
take that.
chub to that. It's a good transformation.
That's huge.
Yeah,
He looks a
Dude,
bit
hire
pale on the
Chris
third
Pratt.
actually, it's
one.
better there than he is in the fucking trailer. Or have you seen anybody? Oh, sorry. I got lost in his dreaminess.
Probably.
Anyway, but there's some stuff that like some cool sets they showed in the new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer, and but overall it's like that cast is like so fucking wacky. I
It's
actually
very wacky.
didn't know this the first time I saw it. Is that Zoe Saldana plays the green chick? I never read the comic. I don't know the comic. She plays her. That gives me a lot of hope. I like Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, she's
She's
great.
good.
She was the
She's
best
really
part
good
about
actress.
fucking Avatar for sure. She was fucking
And Vin
awesome. in that.
Diesel's in it as well.
Yeah, he plays a voice.
Yeah.
He plays Groot.
Hey, he nailed the Iron Giant. You know,
He
I'll give
did?
him- I'll give him credit.
He absolutely
He
did.
could do like.
There's a funny thing.
Whatever.
There's a funny thing there, but you'll see the movie.
What?
That he plays the voice of this guy. There's an interesting thing there, but just see the movie. Just 'cause
What does that mean? Or?
Just go see the movie. Yeah, he does. He talks.
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna see the movie. I just said that.
I know. Well, go see the movie. I'm saying I'm not going to root it for you.
All right, we need to wrap up.
All right.
I didn't think my little hint there was going to be the reason why we went to the movie.
We have an extra 45 minutes for people listening to the audio version. If you're watching the live stream, sorry, you're not going to see it right now. You'll have to come back and
Wait a minute.
actually get the audio
When
version
then?
of the podcast.
I'm going to peruse the comments people said we should talk about real quick while you're wrapping up. See if there's
I'm
anything we
wrapping
missed.
up.
But let's see if there's anything we
Like,
missed.
this is it.
I
But
know.
for next time,
Go
Gus.
slow though. We talked about the live stream.
Okay, thank
We
you
talked
for
about-
watching. We'll be back Wednesday with an episode.
We talked about all
of
this stuff.
The
Are you going to be
Patch.
on the patch, Gus?
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah,
if we
who's
play
gonna be
that
on it
at
this week?
1.5 times, that'll sound normal.
And next Monday with another episode of RT Podcast.
Shit, we covered everything in my journal.
Bye.
Bye.
Gavin burped. Don't tell me.
Never even learned to play the guitar all too well. But I was listening to a podcast, and boy, let me tell you, I was just so inspired. I simply knew